Chapter 2539. Chapter 2539. Killing an Immortal Emperor 3. Yi Qingtang and the big yellow dog were talking in the house when the Blood Moon Elder walked to the window and looked outside. The Blood Moon Elder quickly retracted his head and looked at Yi Qingtang. He said hurriedly, "Holy Lady, many powerful figures are rushing in." Yi Qingtang frowned slightly, but regained her composure quickly. What the woman in green said earlier was that the unleashing of the yellow dog's accumulated power had produced the energy of an immortal emperor. Many major factions in the Mixed Heavens Holy Domain mistook this for an emperor-level practitioner trying to break through to the immortal emperor level. And that surge of immortal emperor energy came and went rapidly. That could only mean two things. Firstly, the emperor-level practitioner failed to break through to the immortal emperor stage. Therefore, in order to prevent future troubles and prevent the emergence of any new immortal emperors, these major factions would eliminate this emperor-level practitioner who tried to break through. The second reason was that the breakthrough had been successful, but the immortal emperor was unable to endure the might of the heavenly tribulation and was severely injured. Regardless of which reason, it was enough for the various large factions to think of ways to get rid of him. An immortal emperor practitioner, who was a complete stranger to them, was an extremely unstable existence to the Mixed Heavens Holy Domain. However, it now seemed that Yi Qingtang did not have anything to worry about. After all, in the eyes of those major forces, whether that immortal emperor succeeded or failed in breaking through, he would at least possess the power of a peak emperor level. But the big yellow dog had no powers now at all. There was no way they could be implicated. Crash! Before Yi Qingtang could ponder this any further, the sounds of doors crashing open rang out from the relay station. Many cultivators who were inside the rest station were all let out. Yi Qingtang looked around. In front of these powerful figures, it was useless to escape or hide. Given the situation, she might as well stay in the room and wait for them to investigate. Before long, Yi Qingtang's room door was also kicked open before several middle-aged men strode in. One of them was in charge of guarding Yi Qingtang and the Blood Moon Elder, while the rest searched the room. After confirming that there was no one else in the room, one of the middle-aged man's gazes landed on Yi Qingtang and the Blood Moon Elder. "Let me ask you, is there anyone else in this room other than the two of you and your dog?" the middle-aged man asked. Visit Readel. Me for extra chapters. Yi Qingtang hurriedly shook her head and frowned. "May I ask, has there been some misunderstanding? Come with us," one of the middle-aged men shouted coldly. Yi Qingtang and the Blood Moon Elder looked at each other. The two of them did not resist. Picking up the big yellow dog hidden in the kennel, Yi Qingtang followed the middle-aged men out of the house. Outside the rest station, the lit lanterns made it as bright as day. Most of the martial arts practitioners, who were resting at the relay station, were all brought here. Everyone was confused and did not know what was going on at all. The owner of the relay station was sweating profusely. All he did was continue to bow to those middle-aged men, afraid of being collateral damage. "Look carefully. Are these all the people who have checked in at your relay station? Did you miss anything? If there's even the smallest discrepancy, your entire clan will be exterminated." The Sky Vault Sect's first prince looked at the owner of the relay station with a faint smile. Yes. My lord, please rest assured. I will definitely look carefully. I would definitely not miss anything." The owner of the relay station wiped the cold sweat off his forehead and immediately sized up the crowd. "If you find any errors, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know so we can fix it as soon as possible. Tip: you can use left, right, A and D keyboard keys to browse between chapters. Chapter 2540. Killing an Immortal Emperor 4. No matter how foolish the owner of the relay station was, he knew that this group of people were not to be trifled with. With such a large group, something major must have happened. How would he dare to show any carelessness? The owner of the relay station immediately walked into the crowd and carefully examined each and every one of them. After a long time, the owner of the relay station finally withdrew from the crowd and walked to the side of the Sky Vault Sect's first prince. With an ingratiating smile he said, My lord, I have already looked at every one of them. The earliest guests checked in 4 days ago, while the latest ones checked in today. There are a total of 63 people. There is absolutely no mistake. The Sky Vault sect's first prince looked thoughtful when he heard the relay station owner's words. After a moment, his gaze landed on the relay station owner, and he continued, "From yesterday until today, did anyone leave soon after checking in?" The owner of the relay station hurriedly shook his head and said with certainty, "My lord, definitely not. For the past 2 days, there have only been guests checking in. No one checked out, and I remember it very clearly." The Sky Vault sect's first prince waved his golden fan. There were a total of 63 people here. Which one of them looked like an Immortal Emperor practitioner? Even if they failed to break through to the Immortal Emperor level, they would at the very least be at the Emperor level, right below the Immortal Emperor stage. They would be peak Emperor level practitioners. However, where was this great peak Emperor level practitioner? First Prince, do you think the Sky Vault Division's branch master had his physical body destroyed and his soul fled? Those disciples who escaped said that it was done by a dog. Could that dog be somehow linked to that Immortal Emperor? Or could it be that the Immortal Emperor is a dog? An old man from the Sky Vault sect walked over to the first prince and whispered. The Sky Vault sect's first prince was taken aback by this. When he returned to his senses, he could not help but find it laughable. A dog was linked to an Immortal Emperor? What a great joke. So you think that the Immortal Emperor was the one who destroyed the body of our Sky Vault sect branch master? The Sky Vault sect's first prince glanced at the old man. The old man pondered for a moment before saying softly, "It's hard to say. Those disciples are unable to recognize the powers of an Immortal Emperor. They only said that the one who destroyed the branch master's body was a yellow dog with unfathomable strength. Furthermore, the timing is such a coincidence. I can only say that it's possible." "Got it. No need to tell anyone," the first prince replied. There were 2 reasons for not announcing this. Firstly, this was news unique to their Sky Vault sect. Perhaps it even had something to do with that Immortal Emperor. Secondly, even if it had nothing to do with this, the body of a Sky Vault sect branch master had been destroyed by a dog. If this news got out, he would definitely become the laughingstock of all the major factions. Their Sky Vault sect would be utterly disgraced. The Sky Vault sect's first prince's gaze swept across the crowd. His gaze landed on Yi Qingtang, who was carrying the big yellow dog. Yi Qingtang frowned when she felt the Sky Vault sect's first prince's stare. She had a bad feeling about this, but the first prince soon retracted his gaze. "My lord, there are a total of 63 people. We have examined them all. The strongest person is only a Divine Lord. There is no one above the Divine Lord level." A middle-aged man from the Dragon Emperor clan spoke to the white-haired elder. The elder glanced at the 63 people and nodded slightly, indicating that he already knew. This was also within his expectations. If that Immortal Emperor was really among this crowd, there was no way he would have let them drag him out in this manner. A person who was capable of ascending the Immortal Emperor stage would be at the peak Emperor level, at the very least. Chapter 2541, Dragon Emperor Clan 1. If that peak Emperor level practitioner who had tried to break through to the Immortal Emperor stage was really here, they might not be able to defeat him even if they joined forces. No matter how serious his injuries were, the difference in their levels was just too great. It would definitely be a vicious battle. "Ha, Elder, in that case, I'm afraid we've made a wasted trip." It was only some time later that the Sky Vault sect's first prince remarked to the white-haired elder from the Dragon Emperor clan, "Since that's the case, you should leave soon." The white-haired elder spoke calmly. The Sky Vault sect's first prince did not take exception to the attitude of the Dragon Emperor clan elder. The Dragon Emperor clan was considered an extremely old clan in the Mixed Heavens holy domain. Coupled with the fact that they were also an evil cult, they had always behaved in this manner. "All right, I'll take my leave then." The first prince of the Sky Vault sect smiled at the Dragon Emperor clan elder, before giving the old man from the Sky Vault sect a meaningful look. "Take that woman and that dog with us." The Sky Vault sect member glanced forward, and his gaze landed on Yi Qingtang and the big yellow dog in her arms. He was shocked to see the big yellow dog in Yi Qingtang's arms. That yellow dog. Could it be the one that destroyed the body of the Sky Vault branch master? Seeing that the old man from the Sky Vault sect was about to say something, the Sky Vault sect's first prince merely smiled and gestured for him to remain silent. The old man immediately understood and did not say anything. He only walked towards Yi Qingtang. Without further ado, the old man grabbed Yi Qingtang's arm and pulled her out of the crowd. "What are you doing?" Seeing that Yi Qingtang was being taken away, the Blood Moon Elder rushed out of the crowd and shouted at the Sky Vault sect old man. However, no one bothered with the Blood Moon Elder. In the next second, a flame appeared in the eyes of the Sky Vault sect's first prince. Immediately, the entire relay station turned to dust, including those guests who had no idea what was happening. The Blood Moon Elder was so frightened that he broke out in cold sweat. Fortunately, he had chased after her just now. Otherwise, he would have been buried in a sea of flames too. The Sky Vault sect's first prince was very young and had unfathomable strength. His temperament was also extremely vicious. As Yi Qingtang glanced at the people from the Sky Vault sect, she fell into deep thought. It seemed that she would not be able to escape if she did not use the power of her deity ocean. Yi Qingtang inadvertently glanced at the white-haired elder from the Dragon Emperor clan. If she did not hear wrongly, this powerful expert was from her mother's maiden family, the Dragon Emperor clan. Great Lord! A middle-aged man from the Dragon Emperor clan caught sight of Yi Qingtang. He could not look away after that. The middle-aged man looked very surprised. This woman, who was carrying a dog and being taken away by the Sky Vault sect's first prince. Her appearance was too. Especially when the middle-aged man first saw Yi Qingtang, he thought he was looking at the long-lost Miss Jiao. "What's wrong? Why are you so anxious?" Seeing the strange expression on the middle-aged man's face, the white-haired elder of the Dragon Emperor clan frowned. "No, my lord. Look at that woman who is being taken by the Sky Vault sect. Doesn't she look like someone?" The middle-aged man hurriedly pointed at Yi Qingtang. Oh, the white-haired elder instinctively sized up the direction the middle-aged man was pointing at. When he saw Yi Qingtang's appearance, his pupils constricted. Chapter 2542. Dragon Emperor Clan 2. In that instant, many memories flashed across the elder's mind. That face was too similar. Although they were not exactly the same, they were more than 80% similar. If he did not look carefully, and had just taken a hasty glance, the white-haired elder might have really treated Yi Qingtang as the person from his memory. Alike, really too alike. After a long while, the elder finally returned to his senses. Actually, there were many people who looked similar in this world. But for some reason, he could instantly connect this girl to that person at a single glance. Diju Yuan was a super genius of the Dragon Emperor clan. She was also their great evil deity's favorite little princess. With her talent, she was bestowed her royal surname by the great evil deity himself. Later on, she had disappeared without a trace. Little Jiao. The white-haired elder looked at Yi Qingtang's extremely familiar and nostalgic face and blurted out. "My lord, they're too alike. They're really too alike. I remember that Princess Jiao was exactly like this back then. How could that girl be so similar to her?" The middle-aged man exclaimed. Some years ago, he had violated the rules of the Dragon Emperor clan. According to the rules, he would have his arm chopped off. The middle-aged man still remembered it vividly. If it weren't for Princess Jiao protecting him and pleading on his behalf, he would have lost his arm. Although she was the favorite daughter of the evil deity, the middle-aged man's impression of Princess Jiao was that she did not put on any airs at all. Instead, she was amiable and approachable. She would play with the servants and got along very well with everyone. Looking at Yi Qingtang, the middle-aged man could not help but be reminded of all those memories from years ago. "My lord, look!" Seeing that Yi Qingtang was about to be taken away, the middle-aged man did not know what to do. Although the woman and Princess Jiao did look very similar, they were not the same person. The middle-aged man knew that very well. Why is there still someone alive? At that moment, the Sky Vault sect's first prince glanced at the Blood Moon Elder. The old man from the Sky Vault sect stepped forward, looking like he wanted to get rid of the Blood Moon Elder. What are you doing? Have you never heard of me? Seeing that he was about to die, the Blood Moon Elder suddenly shouted. The Sky Vault sect old man's interest was piqued when he heard that. He stared at the Blood Moon Elder, and his lips curled up slightly as he chuckled. Oh, tell me who you are then. My surname is He. I'm He Hongqing. Haven't you heard of me? The Blood Moon Elder asked coldly. The Sky Vault sect old man and the first prince looked at each other. He Hongqing? However, in an instant, the old man from the Sky Vault sect laughed. What? You're He Hongqing, that person under the Heavenly Emperor? Yes, the Blood Moon Elder confirmed. He was not lying. He was indeed He Hongqing, even though he was just a clone. Actually, the Blood Moon Elder did not know his own name. It was just that he possessed some memories, in which he was called He Hongqing. It turned out that his main Buddhist name was He Hongqing. Alright. In that case, I'll kill you today, and you can get the Heavenly Emperor to seek out our Sky Vault sect for an explanation. The old man from the Sky Vault sect chuckled. At that moment, Yi Qingtang glanced at the Blood Moon Elder and sighed quietly. Who would believe him in his current state? Even Yi Qingtang herself would not have believed him. Chapter 2543. Dragon Emperor Clan 3. Yi Qingtang already had a plan. Judging from the current situation, she had no choice but to use the power of the deity ocean again to escape with the Blood Moon Elder. Otherwise, the Blood Moon Elder would definitely die in this wretched place if left alone again. It would be difficult to say if she could successfully collect the Blood Moon Elder's soul this time. Just as the old man from the Sky Vault sect was about to attack the Blood Moon Elder, and before Yi Qingtang could make a move, a soft shout came from afar. The middle-aged man from the Dragon Emperor clan suddenly said, "Stop." The old man from the Sky Vault sect was startled. What did this have to do with the Dragon Emperor clan? Hee, what can I do for you, Mr. Dragon Emperor clan? The old man from the Sky Vault sect looked at the middle-aged man with a smile. The middle-aged man had a cold expression. He first glanced at Yi Qingtang before sizing up the Blood Moon Elder. Miss, what's your name? The middle-aged man from the Dragon Emperor clan asked Yi Qingtang, ignoring the Sky Vault sect member. Yi Qingtang replied truthfully after some thought. Miss Yi, is he with you? The middle-aged man from the Dragon Emperor clan pointed at the Blood Moon Elder. Yes. We are together. We went through thick and thin together. We traveled together wherever we went. The Blood Moon Elder interjected hurriedly, not giving Yi Qingtang a chance to speak. I am not asking you. The middle-aged man of the Dragon Emperor clan said in a displeased tone. The Blood Moon Elder immediately shut his mouth and did not say anything else. Yes, we are together. Yi Qingtang nodded in acknowledgement. All right. The middle-aged man of the Dragon Emperor clan nodded slightly before saying to the first prince of the Sky Vault sect, we will be taking this lady, her dog and this person away with us. Everyone was shocked, including Yi Qingtang. The Dragon Emperor clan is taking them away? The old man of the Sky Vault sect frowned. That's right. Does the Sky Vault sect have any objections? Said the middle-aged man from the Dragon Emperor clan. I'm afraid that's not appropriate. Both this woman and this dog are wanted criminals of the Sky Vault sect. Your Dragon Emperor clan wants to take them away? The old man from the Sky Vault sect was firm. Miss, let me ask you. Do you know these people from the Sky Vault sect? Have you offended them? The middle-aged man asked Yi Qingtang. Yi Qingtang shook her head. No. I've never seen them before, much less offended them. You heard her. She doesn't know you. The middle-aged man from the Dragon Emperor clan said. It doesn't matter whether she knows us or not. I already said that she and her dog are wanted criminals of the Sky Vault sect. How can the Dragon Emperor clan take them away just like that? That's unreasonable and against the rules. The old man of the Sky Vault sect said in a cold tone. What? What did you just say? The middle-aged man from the Dragon Emperor clan looked at the old man from the Sky Vault sect in surprise. The middle-aged man laughed. Unreasonable rules? The eyes of the Sky Vault sect's first prince turned cold. the middle-aged man of the Dragon Emperor clan said with a hollow laugh. What's wrong with you today, making so many jokes? You are trying to talk about reason and rules with my Dragon Emperor clan? Before the old man from the Sky Vault sect could say anything, the middle-aged man shouted. Since when does the Dragon Emperor clan have to adhere to any rules? When have we ever been reasonable? If you want to talk about reason and rules, speak to the evil deity yourself. Chapter 2544, Dragon Emperor Clan 4. The first prince of the Sky Vault sect cast a sweeping gaze at the people from the Dragon Emperor clan. Indeed, the Dragon Emperor clan was considered an evil cult in the Mixed Heavens holy domain, and had never abided by the rules and principles. He heard from the Sky Vault sect Paragon that many years ago, the Dragon Emperor clan even started a plan to overthrow the Mixed Heavens holy domain and eradicate all the factions that refused to submit. They wanted to completely disintegrate the Mixed Heavens holy domain and take control of it. During this period of time, the Dragon Emperor clan captured many prodigious disciples of the various factions and sacrificed their blood for their destruction array. If not for the factions working together to resist them, and the fact that there was a traitor in the Dragon Emperor clan, the clan would have succeeded long ago. Now it was indeed laughable to talk about rules and reason with these sinister devils. Hey Elder, the Paragon has instructed us to bring this woman and her dog back. Why don't we compromise? You can take this man with you? How about that? The Sky Vault sect's first prince pointed at the Blood Moon Elder beside him. What a joke! The middle-aged man's face turned cold as he spat out. I want them all. You! A cold glint appeared in the eyes of the Sky Vault sect old man. Did the Dragon Emperor clan really think that the Sky Vault sect was afraid of them? How dare they be so arrogant? What if I don't give them to you? The old man from the Sky Vault sect shouted. The middle-aged man from the Dragon Emperor clan suddenly made a move. However, his movements were so fast that no one from the Sky Vault sect saw it other than their first prince. The next second, the middle-aged man from the Dragon Emperor clan grabbed the old man's neck and lifted him into the air. The old man's face flushed red. He did not expect the middle-aged man from the Dragon Emperor clan to suddenly make a move. Caught off guard, his life was now in the middle-aged man's hands. It was too late for him to resist. Then die. The middle-aged man of the Dragon Emperor clan clenched his fists. The sound of bones breaking rang out as the old man's neck was crushed by the middle-aged man from the Dragon Emperor clan. In the next second, a red light surged out of the old man's head and escaped without a trace. Trying to run. The middle-aged man from the Dragon Emperor clan hollered when he saw that the old man's soul was trying to escape from his body. With a wave of his right hand, a black light shot into the sky and instantly enveloped the red light. In the next second, heart-wrenching cries rang out. It was the heart-wrenching cry of a divine soul in its last moments. It sounded as if it was enduring excruciating pain. In the blink of an eye, the old man's soul was burnt into nothingness, his soul and body both destroyed. No one can escape from the slaughter of my Dragon Emperor clan. The middle-aged man sneered. He then glanced at the first prince of the Sky Vault sect with a smile. Your Highness, your subordinate was ignorant of etiquette. My Dragon Emperor clan has eliminated him for you. I believe that you are smart enough not to blame me, correct? The Sky Vault sect's first prince narrowed his eyes. A harsh glint appeared in them before disappearing. A faint smile appeared on his face. Of course, I wouldn't forgive such an unruly subordinate, even if the Dragon Emperor clan didn't interfere. I feel sorry to have even troubled you. Chapter 2545, Dragon Emperor Clan 5. The Sky Vault sect's first prince looked at the middle-aged man and the white-haired elder. His eyes emitted a cold glint, but he remained calm on the surface, his face full of smiles. Someone from the Dragon Emperor clan had destroyed the body of his subordinate right in front of him, and even destroyed his divine soul. This was equivalent to giving him a slap across the face. While the old man's death was not worth mentioning, as the Sky Vault sect's first prince, he represented the reputation of the entire Sky Vault sect. But of course, the first prince of the Sky Vault sect would not say anything either. After all, the Dragon Emperor clan was an extremely ancient clan in the entire Mixed Heavens holy domain, and possessed abundant resources. The current Sky Vault sect could not compare to them. There was no need for them to become enemies with the Dragon Emperor clan over a woman and a dog. To be able to become the Sky Vault sect's first prince, strength was one thing, but intelligence was another. Especially in such a situation. The only thing the first prince could do now was to endure it, and tell their paragon what had happened. As for what the next step would be, it was something that their paragon needed to consider and decide. It was not up to him. Dragon Emperor clan, it's getting late. I haven't completed the task assigned to me by our paragon yet. I have to return to the Sky Vault sect to report to him. So I'll take my leave first. The first prince smiled at the white-haired elder, and cupped his fists respectfully before turning to leave with his men. All the while the white-haired elder remained silent as his gaze landed on Yi Qingtang. After sizing her up for a long time, he said to the middle-aged man beside him, "Aren't you going to send off the Sky Vault sect's first prince?" The middle-aged man smiled and gestured respectfully at the Sky Vault sect's first prince. "Your Highness, let me escort you on your way out." "Thank you." The first prince nodded calmly. After seeing off the Sky Vault sect, the middle-aged man returned to the white-haired elder's side. The middle-aged man looked at the white-haired elder and asked softly, "The Temple of Paragon and the Devil Cloud sect have not returned yet. Do we need to?" The white-haired elder was expressionless when he heard that. He said indifferently, "That's a matter between the Temple of Paragon and the Devil Cloud sect. It has nothing to do with the Dragon Emperor clan. Who cares what they do?" Yi Qingtang overheard the conversation between the middle-aged man and the white-haired elder. At that moment, Yi Qingtang was slightly surprised. From their conversation, those from the Temple of Paragon people also came. However, what kind of force was the Devil Cloud sect? It seemed to have some conflict with the Temple of Paragon. "Miss Yi, I wonder if you have time to come with us." The white-haired elder's gaze landed on Yi Qingtang. Yi Qingtang was hesitant. To put it bluntly, Yi Qingtang did not want to go to the Dragon Emperor clan at this point. Yi Qingtang still did not know how her mother Diju Yuan had disappeared, and what the situation was like in the Dragon Emperor clan. It was not good for her to rashly head over to the Dragon Emperor clan before everything was investigated. Seeing Yi Qingtang's hesitation, the white-haired elder said softly, "You don't have to worry, Miss Yi. I'm just inviting you to be a guest at the Dragon Emperor clan. You just have to take a look. I guarantee that your pet and friend will definitely not be in any danger." "Pet?" The big yellow dog in Yi Qingtang's arms appeared annoyed. Chapter 2546. Dragon Emperor Clan 6. Yi Qingtang looked at the restless big yellow dog in her arms, and could not help feeling a headache coming on. She understood this dog's character. It could not even bear to be called a mount, much less a pet. Fortunately, the big yellow dog did not have much strength currently, and was restrained by the natural laws of the lower realm. Otherwise, it would be a huge mess. A smile immediately appeared on Yi Qingtang's face as she stroked the big yellow dog's fur. She then looked at the old man from the Dragon Emperor clan and chuckled. "Sir, I'm just an ordinary person. The Dragon Emperor clan is a long-standing faction in the Mixed Heavens holy domain. How can I have the honor of visiting the Dragon Emperor clan? Why don't?" However, before Yi Qingtang could finish her speech, the white-haired elder from the Dragon Emperor clan turned around and walked on. Exasperated, Yi Qingtang and the Blood Moon elder were also led away. The corners of Yi Qingtang's lips twitched. What was the point of asking for her opinion then? Regardless of whether she agreed or refused, she would still have to follow them to the Dragon Emperor clan. This was such a major faction, but still really polite. Before long, a huge avian demon appeared from the void. It was pulling a pale black carriage. The demon landed, and the white-haired elder invited Yi Qingtang onto the carriage. The Blood Moon elder originally wanted to follow Yi Qingtang into the carriage, but was brought away by the Dragon Emperor clan middle-aged man. Only Yi Qingtang and the white-haired elder were in the carriage. The big yellow dog was sleeping in Yi Qingtang's arms. The Dragon Emperor clan was very far from this mainland, But the flying beast was extremely fast. Before long, it had already exited this mainland and arrived above the sea region. Yi Qingtang looked down from the window of the carriage and could vaguely see the sea. For some reason, Yi Qingtang suddenly remembered the time when she was in the Temple of Paragon, and the Sea King came looking for her, and they played sea soul chess. It was as if it had just happened yesterday. A long time had passed in the blink of an eye. During this time, she had left the Temple of Paragon, and even entered an academy to become a teacher. Now that she had been in the second domain for some time, Yi Qingtang increasingly felt that her skills were too weak. A fifth heaven-level divine lord was not bad. In the first domain, Yi Qingtang's skills were enough to be touted as invincible. However, in the second domain, this level was considered extremely weak. Yi Qingtang already deeply understood that it was impossible to move freely in the mixed heavens holy domain with her insufficient skills. In the face of her enemies, she could only run for her life. Yi Qingtang had had enough of always fleeing for her life. It had been like this in her previous life, and it was now still like this in this life. However, the presence of the heart of heavenly Tao in her body greatly suppressed her own progress in martial arts. Moreover, the seal on the heart of heavenly Tao was about to lose its effectiveness soon. This made Yi Qingtang rather helpless. Currently, there was no better solution. Yi Qingtang knew very well that based on the current situation, she would not be able to survive for long in the mixed heavens holy domain, much less explore the third domain. She might even die in the mixed heavens holy domain someday. Chapter 2547, Dragon Emperor Clan 7, Mississippi. Just as Yi Qingtang was deep in thought, the white-haired elder from the Dragon Emperor clan interrupted her thoughts. Yi Qingtang instinctively looked up at him. She smiled at him. "Senior, what can I do for you?" The white-haired elder from the Dragon Emperor clan shook his head. He studied Yi Qingtang for a few seconds before saying, "May I know where you are from? Are you a native of the Mixed Heavens Holy Domain?" Yi Qingtang pondered for a moment before shaking her head. "Senior, to be honest, I am not from the Mixed Heavens Holy Domain, but the Blue Sky Domain. I just came to the Mixed Heavens Holy Domain not long ago." Blue Sky Domain? The white-haired elder frowned slightly when he heard Yi Qingtang's words. Surprise appeared in his eyes. There were currently 3 domains in this world, and they were also categorized into 3 major martial arts civilizations. These 3 domains were the first domain's Blue Sky Domain, the second domain's Mixed Heavens Holy Domain, and the third domain's Divine Venerate Domain. Among them, the Blue Sky Domain had the least number of continents, and their martial arts culture was very backward. In fact, in the eyes of the various major factions in the Mixed Heavens Holy Domain, the people and things in the Blue Sky Domain were not even worth mentioning. The Blue Sky Domain had very few martial arts resources, so it was impossible for any true experts to appear. The white-haired elder sized up Yi Qingtang and said, "The Blue Sky Domain is very far from the Mixed Heavens Holy Domain. There is also an extremely dangerous barrier in the middle. I wonder how Miss Yi came to the Mixed Heavens Holy Domain from the Blue Sky Domain." Yi Qingtang smiled. "It was a coincidence. As for the natural barrier you mentioned, I only knew that it was extremely dangerous after passing over. I might have just been lucky and did not suffer any fatal injuries." Oh, the white-haired elder had some suspicions about what Yi Qingtang was telling him. Even if they disregarded the wide distance between the Blue Sky Domain and the Mixed Heavens Holy Domain, the woman in front of him was at the 5th Heaven Divine Lord level. She did not seem to be from the Blue Sky Domain. "Miss, how old are you now?" The elder suddenly changed the topic. However, before Yi Qingtang could say anything, the elder lifted her arm with a thoughtful expression. Yi Qingtang knew this elder was determining her age. It was similar to the way the Temple of Paragon judged her age. "I see. Miss Yi is not very old, but is about the same age as the younger disciples of my Dragon Emperor clan." After a long time, the white-haired elder moved his hand away and sized up Yi Qingtang again. "Are your parents still alive?" the white-haired elder continued. Yi Qingtang stared at the white-haired elder and said softly, "To tell you the truth, I haven't seen my parents since I was young. I only have an adoptive father. I was adopted and raised by him from a young age." The white-haired elder was deep in thought after hearing Yi Qingtang's words. He did not speak further. Seeing that the elder was silent, Yi Qingtang relaxed a little and gazed out of the window. After about half a day later, the faint sound of thunder rang out from outside the carriage. Yi Qingtang looked out and saw that the flying demon had arrived at the foot of a huge black mountain. The black mountain in front of them blotted out the sky and sun. One couldn't even see its peak at all. Black lightning flashed everywhere, which would occasionally erupt violently and unleash deafening sounds that would terrify a weaker being. Chapter 2548, Dragon Emperor Clan, 8. The scene made Yi Qingtang's heart tremble slightly. She thought that she had come to the end of the world, and that this huge black mountain was like a divine pillar that supported the heavens. "Miss Yi, we're here." After a long time, the white-haired elder opened his eyes and said indifferently, "Senior, is this the headquarters of the Dragon Emperor clan?" Yi Qingtang asked in surprise. "That's right." The white-haired elder nodded slightly. This mountain was called the Demon Mountain. It was located in the north and was considered the top of the northern region. Back when the evil deity killed an unparalleled demonic creature, that demonic creature had been suppressed at the foot of the mountain since. Demonic energy shrouded the mountain range, making it the best place for the Dragon Emperor clan to cultivate. Yi Qingtang nodded after hearing the white-haired elder's narration. While she did not know who the evil deity was, from the elder's expression, he should be one of the patriarchs of the Dragon Emperor clan. Just as the white-haired elder said, there was demonic energy surrounding the place. People who cultivated in the evil arts would naturally prefer this kind of demonic aura surrounding them. The Dragon Emperor clan was the most powerful evil demonic clan in the entire Mixed Heavens holy domain. It was not surprising for their headquarters to be built here. Although Yi Qingtang's mother, Diju Yuan, was the successor of the Dragon Emperor clan, Yi Qingtang had never seen her biological parents in both her lives, nor had she come to the Dragon Emperor clan before. It wasn't surprising that she did not know much about the clan. A moment later, the white-haired elder looked at Yi Qingtang and said, "Since Miss Yi is here, you should stay for a few days. The Dragon Emperor clan treats their guests the best in the entire Mixed Heavens holy domain." Yi Qingtang was speechless. She hadn't wanted to come here in the first place. Did she have the right to refuse? Of course, before her identity was made known, Yi Qingtang knew how to behave in front of a behemoth like the Dragon Emperor clan. The white-haired elder probably would not hurt her, since he invited her over. However, Yi Qingtang had her own worries as well. She could guess why this white-haired elder from the Dragon Emperor clan brought her here. It must be because she looked similar to her mother Diju Yuan. However, not only did Yi Qingtang look like her mother, Diju Yuan, she also looked identical to that paragon from the Temple of Paragon. The reputation of the Temple of Paragon was well known in the Mixed Heavens holy domain. Their paragon had always been mysterious, and very few people had seen her face. Based on what Yi Qingtang knew, apart from the core higher-ups of the Temple of Paragon, only the Sea King had also seen the paragon. However, Yi Qingtang did not know if the evil deity of the Dragon Emperor clan had seen the Temple of Paragon's paragon. With the Dragon Emperor clan's influence and reputation in the Mixed Heavens holy domain, it would not be surprising if he had seen the paragon. But then again, the Temple of Paragon and the Dragon Emperor clan had never been on good terms. If the Dragon Emperor clan discovered that she had the same appearance as that paragon, who knew what consequences would await her? However, it was useless for Yi Qingtang to think too much now. It was impossible to escape from the Dragon Emperor clan given the situation. She could only take things one step at a time, and she did not have a good solution for the time being. After a long time, the avian demon gently flapped its wings and landed on the huge mountain steadily. It seemed that the entire mountain range was the headquarters of the Dragon Emperor clan. Chapter 2549. As soon as she alighted from the carriage, Yi Qingtang was shocked by the extremely thick demonic aura permeating the place. If her skill level was any lower, she would probably be engulfed by the energy and end up losing her mind, and perhaps even losing her life. Can Miss Yi withstand the demonic energy here? Seeing that Yi Qingtang was not acting strangely, the white-haired elder stared at her meaningfully. Yi Qingtang nodded slightly and said, "Senior, although the demonic aura here is thick, it does not affect me." Looks like Miss Yi is better than I imagined," the white-haired elder said thoughtfully. Yi Qingtang did not know what the white-haired elder meant, and did not take it to heart. After a while, the other members of the Dragon Emperor clan, who had traveled with them, walked over. The middle-aged man in the lead looked at Yi Qingtang and said, "Miss Yi, your friend is unable to endure the aura here. I gave him a medicinal pill, and he will be fine after it takes effect. I have already sent him to the guest room to rest. Miss Yi, do not worry." Yi Qingtang looked at the middle-aged man and nodded. "Thank you, senior. By the way, is this Miss Yi's first time in the Dragon Emperor clan?" The middle-aged man asked with a smile. "Of course it's my first time. In the past, I have only heard of the great name of the Dragon Emperor clan. I never expected to be lucky enough to visit the Dragon Emperor clan in my lifetime. It seems like a dream." Yi Qingtang smiled. "Yes, I need to remind Miss Yi of a few points. As a guest in the Dragon Emperor clan, you must remember not to wander around on your own, or get into conflict with anyone here. Otherwise, your life might be in danger," the middle-aged man told Yi Qingtang in a serious tone. In fact, there was no need for the middle-aged man to remind her. She would not wander around on her own. As for fighting with someone from the Dragon Emperor clan, that was even more improbable. It would be no different from committing suicide. Yi Qingtang knew that the Dragon Emperor clan cultivated in the way of the evil deity, and was considered a true evil clan. Fighting with a powerful person who cultivated in demonic ways would be equivalent to seeking death. Even the younger generations of the Dragon Emperor clan were not people that she could compare with. Visit Readle.me for extra chapters. The middle-aged man continued to explain things to her, and Yi Qingtang was able to gather a basic understanding of the Dragon Emperor clan. The hierarchy of the Dragon Emperor clan was extremely strict, mainly determined by one's bloodline. The bloodline with the most respected status as the direct bloodline, followed by the different branches who shared a common ancestor. In the Dragon Emperor clan, there were very few with a direct bloodline, and none of them were to be trifled with. Yi Qingtang had no intention of causing trouble at all. She felt that the middle-aged man might be over-anxious. In the current situation, she was just an insignificant outsider, and could not even be considered a guest. In addition, her skills were also very ordinary. Even if she died in the Dragon Emperor clan, no one would pay her any attention. "Senior, don't worry. I understand the rules. I have to ask you, when can I leave?" Yi Qingtang looked at the middle-aged man and asked softly. On the surface, Yi Qingtang might be a guest of the Dragon Emperor clan, who had been invited by the white-haired elder. However, she knew very well what her actual situation was. It would not be an exaggeration to call her a prisoner. Chapter 2550, Dragon Emperor Clan 10. Hehe, Miss Yi need not worry about that. Since you are already in the Dragon Emperor clan, you should rest for a few days. The middle-aged man looked at Yi Qingtang and chuckled. Yi Qingtang wanted to say something, but after pondering for a moment, she kept silent. Currently, she did not have any bargaining power. Rather than waste her breath displeasing others, she might as well shut her mouth and take things one step at a time. Presumably, a major faction like the Dragon Emperor clan would not deliberately make things difficult for a nameless junior. "Come." A moment later, the white-haired elder gestured for Yi Qingtang to follow him into the Dragon Emperor clan. "Long Yin, who is this woman you have brought back?" A powerful figure guarding the mountain stood in front of her, and his cold eyes landed on Yi Qingtang. However, after sizing her up, the guards were all stunned. Yi Qingtang's appearance was very similar to Princess Jiao of the Dragon Emperor clan, Diju Yuan. Although they were not exactly the same, her mannerisms were also very similar to Diju Yuan. This girl's appearance is really too similar to Boss. If not for the fact that Boss has already found her 2 children, I would really think that this girl was one of her children. One of the mountain guardians said after scrutinizing Yi Qingtang. Yi Qingtang frowned at his words. If she had not misheard, the guard said that Di Jiyuan's children had been found by the Dragon Emperor clan. He Long Yin, this girl looks very similar to Princess Jiao. Where did you find her? Another guard chuckled. Open the door, the white-haired elder said impatiently. Visit Rietal. Me for extra chapters. The guards opened the mountain gate together, and the white-haired elder led Yi Qingtang, and the rest in with large strides. As soon as she entered the clan, Yi Qingtang saw several huge sculptures in the middle. Each sculpture was about 100 meters tall, and nearly reached the clouds. Ha 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 ha. Suddenly, one of the sculptures laughed out loud. Its huge eyes looked at the white-haired elder, as it let out a deafening and thunderous noise. Long Yun, what are you doing? Business. The white-haired elder looked up at the statue. The statue smiled and didn't continue the conversation. Yi Qingtang stared at the few huge sculptures in front of her, and was slightly surprised. She originally thought that they were sculptures built by the Dragon Emperor clan, and did not expect them to be living creatures. Seeing Yi Qingtang's confusion, the middle-aged man smiled and said, "These are all the Dragon Emperor clan's guardian weapons." Weapons? The corners of Yi Qingtang's lips twitched. She had never seen a weapon that could speak. It looked like a race of giants. However, no matter how big the giant race was, it was impossible for them to grow to such an extent. Senior, these should be considered confidential information of the Dragon Emperor clan, right? I'm just an outsider. It doesn't seem appropriate to tell me this. Yi Qingtang looked at the middle-aged man. The middle-aged man shook his head with a smile. Even we don't know the true secrets of the Dragon Emperor clan. There's no way a secret would be placed out in the open like that. These are not considered a secret, but just an ordinary defense mechanism. After hearing what the middle-aged man said, Yi Qingtang could not help but sigh. The Dragon Emperor clan was a veteran force in the Mixed Heavens Holy Domain after all. To think that even this kind of defense was considered ordinary. Chapter 2551, Dragon Emperor Clan 11. If these sculptures were handed over to some ordinary faction in the Mixed Heavens Holy Domain, their combat strength would probably be instantly boosted to that of a first-tier faction. It had to be said that the Dragon Emperor clan was truly too overwhelming. The entire mountain range was the territory of the Dragon Emperor clan. Within that was the Pill Chamber, the Divine Armory, the Martial Arts area, and countless other facilities. Even those top academies in the Mixed Heavens Holy Domain, who had very comprehensive campuses, would probably still be way inferior to the Dragon Emperor clan's territory. Before long, the middle-aged man brought Yi Qingtang to the guest room area at the elder's instruction. Miss Yi, these guest rooms are spacious and clean. Your friend is resting in a room on the north side. You can choose one as you like, the middle-aged man explained. These guest rooms are all empty. Are there no other guests in the Dragon Emperor clan? Yi Qingtang asked instinctively. Hee, Miss Yi, the Dragon Emperor clan doesn't have many guests. In the Mixed Heavens Holy Domain, there aren't many people who are qualified to be our guests. Some people might be qualified, but they do not dare to come here. The middle-aged man chuckled. Yi Qingtang had a general understanding of the Dragon Emperor clan's way of doing things. This middle-aged man was telling the truth. Who would dare to come to the Dragon Emperor clan as a guest? It was a major evil faction in the Mixed Heavens Holy Domain. All right, Miss Yi, as I told you before, don't leave the guest room area without permission. Someone will bring some food and water over for you. After giving his instructions, the middle-aged man made to leave. Senior, Yi Qingtang suddenly called out to the middle-aged man. Visit Rietal. Me for extra chapters. The middle-aged man turned to look at Yi Qingtang and said, Miss Yi, what other questions do you have? Nothing much. I'm just curious. I heard just now that the children of Princess Jiao have been found by the Dragon Emperor clan? Yi Qingtang pondered for a moment before deciding to ask. It would be best if she could find out, but she would not mind if she could not. Miss Yi, Why are you asking about this? The middle-aged man frowned slightly. No outsider was allowed to ask about the direct bloodline descendants, especially in the extremely strict Dragon Emperor clan. To be honest, I'm a little curious about Princess Diju Yuan, Yi Qingtang said with a smile. The middle-aged man did not speak. He sized up Yi Qingtang for a long time before saying, Miss Yi, there are some things that you can ask about but some that you cannot. If you don't know which is which, it's best not to ask at all. Do you understand what I mean? Yi Qingtang pondered over this. In the end she nodded and smiled. I will remember your advice, senior. I will not speak of it anymore. All right, Miss Yi, rest early. The middle-aged man did not stay any longer, and turned to leave. After the middle-aged man left, Yi Qingtang casually chose a room and entered. The guest room of the Dragon Emperor clan was extremely luxurious. There was an indescribable charm to it. In fact, the table was filled with extremely rare delicacies. If consumed by warriors, it could strengthen the muscles and bones. There were even many rare medicinal pills placed on the table in bottles. Chapter 2552. Dragon Emperor Clan 12. The sight of the room rendered Yi Qingtang speechless by the Dragon Emperor clan's extravagance. Surely the term luxurious was not enough to describe this. There were some elixirs on the table that even Yi Qingtang could not refine. Even those that she could see were extremely rare and precious, requiring dozens of herbs which would be difficult to obtain outside. The way the Dragon Emperor clan treated their guests was truly an eye-opener for Yi Qingtang. Not bad. At that instant, the big yellow dog suddenly opened its eyes and stared at the table full of food. It drooled all over Yi Qingtang. Seeing that, Yi Qingtang threw the big yellow dog aside in disdain. Was this the reincarnation of a hungry ghost? The big yellow dog did not stand on ceremony, and leaped onto the dining table to eat. Looking at the big yellow dog's eating habits, Yi Qingtang sighed. How long had it been since she last ate? Didn't the big yellow dog say that it came from the so-called upper realm? Did the upper realm not have delicacies? Little girl, let me ask you. What's in this bottle? It smells quite good to me. The big yellow dog looked at Yi Qingtang and wagged its tail. Yi Qingtang glanced at the big yellow dog. Elixir. Elixir? After learning what was in the bottle, the big yellow dog was rather disdainful. Look, you humans just like to take advantage of every opportunity to mess around. What's so good about elixirs? Aren't they just processed products? You gathered and crushed so many natural and fragile spirit medicines together to make them into these ridiculous pills. You humans are simply wasting God's gifts. Forget it, it'll have a taste. With that, the big yellow dog opened its mouth to swallow the elixir. However, Yi Qingtang quickly grabbed the pill. Humans love to waste natural resources. Don't commit sins like us. It's better not to take it. Yi Qingtang stared at the big yellow dog. What's the big deal? There's nothing my canine race has not tasted before. The big yellow dog snorted. I think you guys don't know how to refine elixirs, Yi Qingtang said. Even if we knew how to refine it, we wouldn't do it, said the big yellow dog. Yi Qingtang was speechless. The dog did not know how to refine elixirs at all. If the so-called canine race knew how to refine elixirs, it would not have said those words just now. Little girl, I'm full. When are we leaving? Also, when are you sending me back to the upper realm? I want to go home. The big yellow dog stared at Yi Qingtang. Yi Qingtang was baffled. When did I say I would send you back to the upper realm? Yi Qingtang remembered the rules of returning to the upper realm very clearly. Either she had to break the natural rules of the world, or she had to destroy them. It was completely unrealistic. At the very least, it was completely impossible for her at her current level. You promised me earlier that you would send me back to the upper realm, said the big yellow dog. My memory is very good. I never said that. Yi Qingtang shook her head. I don't care. Since you brought me out of that wailing well, you will have to grant me a wish. My wish is to return to the upper realm. Otherwise, you have to send me back to that wailing well, the big yellow dog said. Yi Qingtang. She already saved the big yellow dog from the wailing well. And now she still had to grant this major wish as well. Chapter 2553. Dragon Emperor Clan 13. Yi Qingtang had never seen any being as shameless as this dog. Not only had it not repaid her for saving it from the Wailing Well, she now had to grant it a wish. Alright, no problem at all. You want to return to the upper realm, right? I will help you. Just you wait. When I have the ability to break the natural laws of this world, I will definitely help you return to the upper realm. Yi Qingtang laughed coldly. The big yellow dog immediately wagged its tail with anticipation. Sure, how long will that take? I'm not sure about that. If we're lucky, it will only be about a few tens of thousands of years, Yi Qingtang said. Little girl, are you kidding? The big yellow dog was surprised. Yi Qingtang smiled. Who asked you to joke with me first? The big yellow dog said. But, you want to live for tens of thousands of years? You'll be dead by then. Do you think you're me, living until the end of time? Yi Qingtang was not interested in how long the big yellow dog could live. She was also not interested in whether the big yellow dog could return to the upper realm. The most pressing matter now was how to leave the Dragon Emperor clan. For some reason, Yi Qingtang felt that the Dragon Emperor clan was not as simple as it seemed. Besides, she did not feel safe staying here as an outsider. The Dragon Emperor clan had a very strict hierarchical system. The direct bloodline, the different branches, and so on were too complicated for Yi Qingtang to understand. And she could not even ask about the direct bloodline. Yi Qingtang did not grow up in the Dragon Emperor clan, and did not know their rules. If she accidentally violated them, she might end up dying without even knowing why. Furthermore, there was something that Yi Qingtang was very concerned about. The mountain guard said that Di Juyuan's children had already returned to the Dragon Emperor clan. Yi Qingtang was certain that she was Di Juyuan's daughter. However, she was not sure if her mother had other children besides her. In Yi Qingtang's opinion, there were only two scenarios. First, she was not her mother's only daughter. Before or after her, her mother had a son and another daughter. She had siblings that she had never met. Second, those so-called Di Juyuan's children were fakes. However, Yi Qingtang could not understand it. The Dragon Emperor clan was such a major force in the Mixed Heavens holy domain. Even she, a person from the Blue Sky domain, knew about them. How could others not know? Who would dare to pretend to be a direct bloodline descendant of the Dragon Emperor clan? Furthermore, even if someone was bold enough to pretend, could they fool the Dragon Emperor clan so easily? Although Yi Qingtang did not think that she really had siblings whom she had never met, she was not inclined to believe the second scenario. Actually, according to the information she had, it was extremely likely that she was Di Juyuan's only daughter. But if that was not the case, Yi Qingtang really wished to meet her siblings. After a long time, Yi Qingtang stopped thinking about it. Anyway, she was still in the Dragon Emperor clan now. Perhaps she may get a chance to meet the higher-ups. Let's go. If you have problems with this website, please continue reading your novel on our new website. My thanks. Yi Qingtang carried the big yellow dog and walked out of her guest room towards the Blood Moon Elder's room. Chapter 2554. Dragon Emperor Clan 14. Damn you. Why are you bringing me along? I want to rest. The big yellow dog protested in Yi Qingtang's arms. Yi Qingtang glanced at the big yellow dog. Did it really think that she wanted to bring it along with her, wherever she went? If they were not in the Dragon Emperor clan, she would not be bothered with it. She was just worried that it would run around and cause trouble. Standing in front of the Blood Moon Elder's room, Yi Qingtang kicked the door open. The Blood Moon Elder was sitting at the guest table, eating the elixirs and delicacies on the table. Holy lady, you are here. Let's eat together. The Blood Moon Elder mumbled through his full mouth as he wiped the grease on his lips. He waved at her. Aren't you afraid that the food is poisoned? Yi Qingtang sat at the side casually. Looking at the Blood Moon Elder eating happily, Yi Qingtang could not help but comment. She had been worrying herself to death, while the Blood Moon Elder was just happily stuffing himself in the guest room of the Dragon Emperor clan. The Blood Moon Elder was stunned by Yi Qingtang's words. He was shocked and in disbelief. Holy Lady, how is that possible? That can't be. This is the Dragon Emperor clan. I don't believe they would do such a thing. Moreover, it's so easy for them to kill us. There's no need to bring us back and poison us. It would be a waste of such good food and elixirs. There's no reason for that. Yi Qingtang could not help looking at the Blood Moon Elder with renewed light. His intelligence level had increased by quite a lot during this period of time. He had already learned to infer things. Holy Lady, don't worry. The Dragon Emperor clan is a great evil sect. Poisoning is a despicable and shameless thing that only the low-class evil sects would carry out. The Dragon Emperor clan will definitely disdain such actions. Holy Lady, don't worry and eat it. If you die from the food, you can just blame me then. The Blood Moon Elder smiled when he saw that Yi Qingtang was unmoved. Then what class of evil are you? Yi Qingtang stared at the Blood Moon Elder with a chuckle. Holy Lady, I guess I belong to the lower classes. The Blood Moon Elder looked a little embarrassed. It was true that he had often poisoned others. Previously, the people from the Dragon Emperor clan said that you could not endure the demonic energy here. How do you feel now? Yi Qingtang asked. Holy Lady, the Dragon Emperor clan gave me an elixir, and I'm much better now. It's nothing major. The Blood Moon Elder replied honestly. Also, Holy Lady, the Dragon Emperor clan is really too magnanimous. This food and this bottle of elixirs are simply too luxurious. Just by taking these elixirs, I can feel that my strength will soon surge. The Blood Moon Elder was rather excited. Yi Qingtang did not refute the Blood Moon Elder's words regarding this. It was indeed as he said. These elixirs were indeed very rare, and were extremely useful to cultivators. By the way, Holy Lady, I wanted to ask you earlier but didn't get the chance. Holy Lady, what's your relationship with that elder from the Dragon Emperor clan? Why would he treat you so well? He summoned a carriage for you, and even brought us to this place as guests. Holy Lady, are you that elder's illegitimate daughter? The Blood Moon Elder looked at Yi Qingtang curiously. The corners of Yi Qingtang's lips twitched. The Blood Moon Elder's imagination was indeed rich. Chapter 2555, Dragon Emperor Clan 15. To put it bluntly, Yi Qingtang did not know why either. She could not possibly have been brought back to the Dragon Emperor clan, just because she looked similar to Di Zhuyuan. After all, there were many people with similar appearances in this world. Furthermore, didn't the mountain guard say that Di Zhuyuan's children had already returned to the Dragon Emperor clan? It could not be that the elder treated her as one of her children, right? Seeing that Yi Qingtang was silent, the Blood Moon Elder said, Holy Lady, could I have really guessed correctly? If that's the case, we will be very powerful. You're thinking too much. Yi Qingtang frowned. It was precisely because of this that Yi Qingtang had an ominous feeling about the true reason the elder brought her back to the Dragon Emperor clan. That was why she did not want to stay in the Dragon Emperor clan. If it were not for the current circumstances, she would really turn around and leave. Actually, I'm not too sure either, Yi Qingtang said after a while. The Blood Moon Elder put down his chopsticks and fell into deep thought with Yi Qingtang. Holy Lady, could it be that the Dragon Emperor ancient clan has taken a fancy to some treasures on you? The Blood Moon Elder frowned deeply. Yi Qingtang shook her head. The Dragon Emperor clan was such a powerful clan. Why would they want any of her treasures? Besides, her treasures were all in her space ring. It was highly unlikely. Probably not. Even if they wanted something from us, they could just kill us and take our items. There's no need to bring us back here. It's unnecessary, Yi Qingtang said. The Dragon Emperor clan was not a righteous clan. They would not go out of their way to carry out such superfluous actions. I got it. The Blood Moon Elder slapped the table and stood up suddenly. He stared at Yi Qingtang. Holy Lady, didn't the Sky Vault sect want to bring you away earlier? I think that the Dragon Emperor clan and the Sky Vault sect are not on good terms. Therefore, they purposely went against the Sky Vault sect by snatching you away from their hands. Holy Lady, do you think I'm right? Actually, Yi Qingtang had considered this before but quickly vetoed the idea. If it was really because of the Sky Vault sect, the Dragon Emperor clan could have snatched her away and then released her. What reason would they have to bring her and the Blood Moon Elder back to the Dragon Emperor clan? Tell me, don't you humans get tired? Why are you thinking so much? They brought you back as guests to entertain you with good food and drinks, as well as give you those ridiculous elixirs. Enjoy yourselves. It is way too easy for those people to kill you. They definitely don't have such intentions, so your worries are groundless. The big yellow dog finally piped up. Yi Qingtang could not help smiling at that explanation. She had to admit that the big yellow dog's words did make sense. If the Dragon Emperor clan really harbored evil intentions toward them, they would have already died 10,000 times over. There was no point in thinking too much. They might as well just wait for the Dragon Emperor clan to give them an answer. Holy Lady, I think what Brother Canine said makes sense. We have good food and drinks now as well as elixirs. It's no loss to us even if we continue to stay here. Most importantly, that Sky Vault sect will no longer seek trouble with us. The Blood Moon Elder nodded. Yi Qingtang did not say anything and just quietly opened her space ring. Chapter 2556. Dragon Emperor Clan 16. After a few breaths, Yi Qingtang took out a jade pendant from her space ring and carefully kept it with her. This jade pendant was left behind by her mother, Diju Yuan. It was an item that could prove her identity. When she came to the second domain, Yi Qingtang took off the jade pendant from her body and placed it in her space ring. In this current situation, it was best for her to carry the jade pendant on her body. Should anything happen to them, the jade pendant would be able to protect their lives. Of course, Yi Qingtang would only reveal this jade pendant when she was forced to. Otherwise, she absolutely would not take it out for any old reason. The situation in the Dragon Emperor clan was too complicated. Yi Qingtang currently did not know much about the clan. This jade pendant might be able to help her regain her position, or it might consign her to eternal damnation. At the very least, Yi Qingtang needed to know who she could trust in the Dragon Emperor clan, and who she could not. Did her mother have any enemies? If she revealed the jade pendant without even properly investigating such basic information, the consequences would be unimaginable. Not only that, but the identities of her mother's other two children must also be investigated, whether they were real or fake. Little girl, don't worry. You have me. The big yellow dog told Yi Qingtang. Yi Qingtang was about to say something when the dog added, "Don't worry. Before you fulfill my wish, I won't let you die so easily. Tell me, if you die, who will fulfill my wish?" Yi Qingtang was speechless. She had been momentarily touched, and that moment would be an eternal humiliation to her. The demonic aura here is very compatible with your own demon physique. You can try to absorb it and turn it into your own power. Yi Qingtang said patiently to the Blood Moon Elder. Don't just eat. Holy Lady, my demon physique? The Blood Moon Elder put down his chopsticks in confusion. Your new body was used by General Yongla before, so you have an intense demonic aura too. He used a special method to seal that demonic aura in your body, Yi Qingtang explained. I understand. I knew that this new body was extraordinary. So that's how it is. Holy Lady, you are really too good to me. The Blood Moon Elder stared at Yi Qingtang and sighed. After you're done resting, you can try using the power of demons to absorb the demonic energy here. Also, don't move around on your own here. This is to avoid getting into trouble. With that, Yi Qingtang grabbed the big yellow dog and left. During this period of time, she had nothing to do but could not leave the guest area. There was also no opportunity to investigate the information she wanted to know. She might as well spend more time cultivating. After returning to her guest room, Yi Qingtang sat down and composed herself before entering a meditative state. Over the recent few days, Yi Qingtang's martial arts level showed signs of breaking through. There should not be any problems for her to advance from the 5th heaven level Divine Lord to the 6th. Little girl, if you can absorb the power of the heavenly Tao in your heart, your strength will surge. By then it will be possible to shake the natural laws of the lower realm. The big yellow dog, which had been silent the entire time, suddenly spoke up. Yi Qingtang's eyes snapped open. If you have problems with this website, please continue reading your novel on our new website. My thanks. Chapter 2557. Ancient God Karma Tunnel. 1. Absorbing the power of the heavenly Tao. Yi Qingtang had the same idea previously, but she did not have any feasible solution. If she could not absorb the power of the heavenly Tao in the heart, given time, the heart of the heavenly Tao would threaten her life. That was the only reason Yi Qingtang might be willing to make a deal with that lady in green. Didn't you say that you didn't have any way to help me? Yi Qingtang frowned at the big yellow dog. If there was really a way, Yi Qingtang was willing to try no matter how dangerous it was. After observing you over the past few days, there's something I have to tell you. Even if you really can absorb the power of the heavenly Tao, as long as your heart remains in your body, your bad luck won't disappear. This is like a terrifying curse, unless... The big yellow dog hesitated. Unless what? Yi Qingtang asked curiously. Unless you can disturb the natural laws of the lower realm, and follow me to the upper realm. If we go to the upper realm, there will be many solutions to your problem. A mere unlucky heart would be nothing to worry about. The big yellow dog wagged its tail. Yi Qingtang. After going one big round, the big yellow dog just wanted her to grant its wish? So do you have a solution or not? If not, cut the crap, Yi Qingtang said impatiently. If she really had the ability to disrupt the natural laws, why would she need to waste her breath on this dog? It was not that she did not want to send the big yellow dog home, but she did not have the ability. I didn't have any previously. The big yellow dog smiled faintly. Oh. Yi Qingtang's expression changed as if she understood the meaning of the big yellow dog's words. I do have one now, but it's very difficult. The big yellow dog continued. In the next second, Yi Qingtang hugged the big yellow dog and smoothed its fur. She smiled and said, "What's the solution? Tell me about it. If you really help me absorb the power of the heavenly Tao, and I can disrupt the natural laws, won't I be able to send you home? You haven't been home for so many years. You must miss home." Ancient God. Karma Tunnel. The big yellow dog said after a long while. Ancient God Karma Tunnel? Yi Qingtang was baffled. She had never heard of it. That's right. The ancient gods entered into a contract with a descendant of the Karma bloodline in the early days. This contract has persisted until today. There must be someone with the Karma bloodline in your lower realm. Furthermore, the person with the Karma bloodline probably entered the ancient god realm to reach that agreement with the ancient gods. That's how the ancient god Karma Tunnel was opened. The big yellow dog nodded. Visit Riedel. Me for extra chapters. After the yellow dog finished speaking, Ling Yan's image suddenly appeared in Yi Qingtang's mind. In the so-called lower realm mentioned by the big yellow dog, Ling Yan was the only one who possessed the power of the Karma bloodline. However, Yi Qingtang's voice transmission stone to communicate with Ling Yan had shattered. She wondered how Ling Yan was doing now. This ancient god Karma Tunnel is an extremely vicious tunnel with all sorts of eternal legacies. You have no way of knowing where it leads to. Enter the tunnel. You could have everything you ever wanted, but you could also lose everything you have. Your soul might even be suppressed under the netherworld, and never be able to reincarnate. The big yellow dog seemed to be in deep thought. Have you entered the ancient god Karma Tunnel before? Yi Qingtang was curious. If you find any errors, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know so we can fix it as soon as possible. Tip: you can use left, right, A and D keyboard keys to browse between chapters. Chapter 2558. Ancient God Karma Tunnel 2. How do you know so much about the ancient God Karma Tunnel? Have you entered it before? Yi Qingtang stared at the big yellow dog curiously. Yi Qingtang had never even heard of this ancient God Karma Tunnel over her 2 lifetimes. However, the big yellow dog knew so much about it, as if it had entered before. The big yellow dog did not answer Yi Qingtang's question. It just fell into silence and said after a while, "That's not important. What's important is that an ancient God Karma Tunnel has appeared in this place. If you want to absorb your heart's heavenly Tao energy, you can try it." What is inside the ancient God Karma Tunnel? Why can one absorb the power of the heavenly Tao after entering this tunnel? Yi Qingtang was unable to understand. Every time the ancient God Karma Tunnel is opened, No one knows what's inside. It might hold something so evil that even the deities cannot endure. Or it might be a wonderland. If it's a wonderland, you can succeed in whatever you want. If it's something evil, you have no choice but to just wait for death, the big yellow dog said. So there's actually such a mysterious realm in this world. Yi Qingtang had never heard of such a thing. Successfully achieve whatever she wanted? If she wanted to become a god, could she really become one? The big yellow dog thought for a moment and added, of course, the so-called achievement of one's aspirations must remain within the rules. It's impossible to transcend the rules. Actually, it's not as simple as I made it out to be. Everything can only be known after one enters it. Ancient gods existed in both the upper and lower realms. However, in the big yellow dog's memory, the last time the ancient god Karma Tunnel opened was a very long time ago. Yi Qingtang was tempted by the yellow dog's description of the ancient god Karma Tunnel. She was not afraid of danger. As a person who had lived 2 lifetimes, she had experienced all kinds of dangers and extreme evil. What she always lacked was a huge opportunity. Truly powerful practitioners all had obtained great opportunities, but she did not. Therefore, she was still unable to become a truly powerful practitioner. If that ancient god Karma Tunnel was really as the big yellow dog said, Yi Qingtang was willing to take a risk, be it a doomed hell or a blessed paradise. Otherwise, her future road might be even more dangerous. I want to try. After a long time, Yi Qingtang made up her mind. Little girl, this isn't something that you can enter as and when you want. Some people don't have this opportunity. The unique laws of the ancient gods might not let you in. You can only depend on the will of the heavens. Furthermore, once the ancient god Karma Tunnel opens, auspicious signs will descend from the heavens. Who knows how many factions will view the ancient god Karma Tunnel as a huge opportunity. I'm afraid they will all fight for it. You have to satisfy 2 conditions first. The first is to avoid all the major factions and sneak in. The second is to obtain the recognition of the ancient gods. Without either one, you won't stand a chance. The big yellow dog wagged its tail. Besides, the most terrifying thing is that even if you complete both conditions, you might not arrive at a wonderland, but instead land in hell. Not only will you be unable to accomplish your goal, but you might also even lose your little life. That would be so terrible. Yi Qingtang glanced at the big yellow dog. I already feel terrible just looking at you now. She had already made up her mind, and now this dog was giving her such a blow. Wasn't it the one that had just been promoting the ancient god Karma Tunnel to her earlier? Now it was making it sound like a worthless venture. Chapter 2559. Ancient God Karma Tunnel 3. Yi Qingtang had been very interested in the ancient god Karma Tunnel. But the big yellow dog had just poured a bucket of ice water all over her enthusiasm. If you want to absorb the heavenly Tao energy in your heart, you have no choice but to try. Otherwise, I definitely don't recommend you to enter the ancient god Karma Tunnel, the big yellow dog said as it stared at Yi Qingtang. Yi Qingtang fell into deep thought. It was true that she did not know much about the heart of heavenly Tao in her body. She did not know how much power there was, and how far she could grow if she could really absorb it. Do you think there's a need to take this risk? Yi Qingtang asked the big yellow dog. No matter how unreliable the big yellow dog was, it was still from the upper realm. Even though she had lived 2 lives, she might not be as knowledgeable as the big yellow dog. I think it's worth it. The big yellow dog pondered for a moment before saying, besides, even I can't see through the thickness of the heavenly Tao energy in your heart. It should be very considerable. If you can really absorb this energy and control it perfectly, I estimate your growth will be impossible to calculate. Furthermore, even if you don't manage to absorb the power but manage to visit a wonderland in the ancient god Karma Tunnel, your life would have been worth living. Alright, I understand. There's no need to say anything else. Seeing that the big yellow dog still wanted to say something, Yi Qingtang hurriedly stopped it. She was worried that it would continue saying things that would make her lose her confidence. When will the ancient god Karma Tunnel open? Yi Qingtang asked a moment later. I only sensed it recently. Actually, it opened some time ago, but no one is close to it yet. However, if you want to enter the ancient god Karma tunnel, it's best to wait a few more days. Currently, the karma energy around the tunnel is still very strong. If you head over now, you might be tainted by ominous karma, the big yellow dog explained. Yi Qingtang nodded slightly. She did not intend to set off immediately. She could not leave the Dragon Emperor clan as and when she liked anyway. At that instant, in the central hall of the Dragon Emperor clan, the white-haired elder entered the hall. In the middle of the hall sat an elder in a black robe. The black-robed elder emitted a cold and strange aura, making people unwilling to approach him. Long Yun. The black-robed elder opened his eyes the moment the white-haired elder entered the hall. Those eyes seemed to be able to pierce through time and space, captivating one's soul. Visit Rietal. Me for extra chapters. I am here. Long Yun bowed respectfully. The evil deity told you to investigate the immortal emperor. How is your investigation? The black-robed old elder asked. Apart from our Dragon Emperor clan, the Temple of Paragon and the Devil Cloud sect also turned up. However, we failed to find that immortal emperor. However, judging from the movements of the Temple of Paragon and the Devil Cloud sect, I'm afraid that the existence of an immortal emperor is not fake. Perhaps that immortal emperor is on guard and is hiding somewhere, Long Yun explained. The black-robed elder said. 2 days ago, several people from the 10,000 Poison Valley returned. They said they saw Diju Yuan. Long Yun was surprised. However, I have already done my research. It was my granddaughter, Long Yao, who was playing a prank. That little clever sprite used some tricks to fool those people from the 10,000 Poison Valley, said the black-robed elder. Long Yao was a direct descendant of the Dragon Emperor clan, and held a respected status. She had left the Dragon Emperor clan on her own accord, and gone to a mysterious place to look for her Aunt Jiao. Chapter 2560. Identical 1. Fortunately, nothing had happened to Long Yao and the rest, or the consequences would have been unimaginable. That child Long Yao is too bold and presumptuous. Now that she has returned, we should watch her closely. It's best not to let her act too willfully, Long Yun said with a frown. The black-robed elder chuckled softly. It's all right. Long Xiao is by Long Yao's side. You know very well that although Long Xiao looks like a gentle and kind child, he is treacherous to the bone. He is ruthless and has a dark heart. He is unlike Long Yao, who is still so naive at her age. It's disappointing. She really has to learn from her brother, Long Xiao. Long Yun shook his head and smiled. That's true. Among the Dragon Emperor clan, only Long Yao has a childish heart and a strangely kind heart. Let the children do whatever they want. If they find my Jiao, I will remember their great contribution. Actually, I don't have much hope either. After all, Jiao has been missing for so many years. If she wanted to come back, she would have done so long ago. It's just that I've troubled the evil deity for so many years with my longing for Jiao. The black-robed elder sighed. Before Long Yun could say anything, the black-robed elder changed the topic. Also, Long Yao came back and said that those ignorant idiots from the 10,000 Poison Valley wanted to bully her. When the time comes, they will go and teach them a lesson. If their valley master had not saved Jiao's life several times in the past, I would not have allowed them to exist until today. 10,000 Poison Valley. They are truly audacious. All these years that the evil deity has been in seclusion, the 10,000 Poison Valley has taken advantage of this. It looks like we should punish them properly, Long Yun said. If there's nothing else, you can leave first. The black-robed elder's voice seemed to be a little tired. One more thing, Long Yun said. Speak. The black-robed elder looked at Long Yun. On my way to find traces of the immortal emperor, I met a woman and brought her back. I had her come as a guest and arranged for her to be in the guest area. Long Yun's expression was solemn. A curious glint appeared in the black-robed elder's eyes. How many years had it been since anyone was qualified to enter the guest area of the Dragon Emperor clan? The black-robed elder had no idea what Long Yun's intentions were. Visit Rietal. Me for extra chapters. Is there anything about that woman that makes you, Long Yun, treat her in such a special manner? The black-robed elder asked. That woman's appearance, Long Yun said. Did you know that our Jior looks like a certain big shot in the mixed heavens holy domain? The Temple of Paragons. Paragon? The black-robed elder said. That's right. Long Yin nodded slightly. In the past, the Temple of Paragon ruled the entire mixed heavens holy domain and was worshipped everywhere. I once saw their paragon, and the memory is still fresh in my mind. At that time, I nearly mistook the paragon for Jior. However, upon closer inspection, Jior's appearance is only similar to the paragon. They are not exactly the same. What does this have to do with the woman you brought back? The black-robed elder asked. When I saw that woman for the first time, I nearly mistook her for the younger version of Jior. Long Yin replied truthfully. Silence fell across the hall. Long Yin, do you mean that the woman you brought back looks very similar to the Temple of Paragon's paragon? The black-robed elder asked. However, Long Yin shook his head. They were not just similar. They were completely identical. Chapter 2561. Identical, 2. Long Yin looked at the black-robed elder and pondered for a moment before saying, The woman I brought back is identical to the Temple of Paragon's paragon. Identical? Surprise flashed across the black-robed elder's eyes. So what do you intend to do? The black-robed elder asked. Since Long Yin brought that woman back, he must have his reasons. That's hard to say. Long Yin shook his head. From what I know, that paragon doesn't seem to have a partner. Of course, it's impossible for outsiders like us to know so much. Do you think that the woman you brought back might be the daughter of that paragon? The black-robed elder seemed to be in deep thought. There are many possibilities. Being the daughter is only one of them. There might be another possibility, Long Yin continued. For example? The black-robed elder asked Long Yin. Is it possible that Paragon died and was reincarnated into a human? And this woman I just encountered happened to be the reincarnation of that paragon, Long Yin said. The black-robed elder looked at Long Yin with a faint smile. Of course it's possible, but I don't think it would be the case. If the paragon died, I believe that her reincarnation won't end up in our hands. Do you think those people from the Temple of Paragon are fools? Furthermore, the Temple of Paragon has some connections with the Sea Clan. The Sea King's divine artifact is in the hands of the Temple of Paragon. Every once in a while, the Sea King will personally visit the temple to maintain the divine artifact. If that paragon really died, how could the Sea King's treasure remain in the temple? Also, quite recently, the Sea King personally visited the Temple of Paragon for the paragon's birthday celebration. It's said that they even played a game of sea soul chess together. Visit Riedel. Me for extra chapters. Long Yin pondered for a moment after hearing the black-robed elder's words. He nodded slightly and said, You have a point, I was careless. In that case, that woman might just be a coincidence. However, the black-robed elder shook his head. That might not be the case. We don't have a lot of connections with the Temple of Paragon. There might be a lot of things we do not know. Indeed, our Dragon Emperor clan doesn't have much of a relationship with the Temple of Paragon. We don't know each other very well, Long Yin said. Actually, compared to their paragon, I think that the woman is more similar to Juyuan in terms of words, actions, and mannerisms. They are exactly the same as Juyuan's back then, even though her appearance is identical to the paragon. If Juyuan's children had not already returned to the Dragon Emperor clan, I might have thought that she was Juyuan's child. Then what do you plan to do now? The black-robed elder asked. Long Yin pondered for a moment before saying, Initially, I wanted to inform the evil deity of this matter. However, I feel that there's no need now. I will allow her to leave in 2 days. There's no rush. The black-robed elder stared at Long Yin and said softly, Keep this woman here for the time being. We'll talk about it when the evil deity comes out of seclusion. Even if that woman has nothing to do with that paragon, she might be useful in the future if she stays in the Dragon Emperor clan. Well, we will have this woman stay here as a disciple then, said Long Yin. Chapter 2562. Identical 3. Countless prodigies in the mixed heavens holy domain tried their best to enter the Dragon Emperor clan and become their disciple, but very few were able to succeed. With Yi Qingtang's martial arts talent and skills, it was impossible for her to enter the ancient Dragon Emperor clan through official means. Long Yun believed that if Yi Qingtang had the chance, she would be willing to stay in the Dragon Emperor clan no matter what. Yes, that's possible. Let her stay on as a disciple of the clan. Perhaps she will be of use in the future. The black-robed elder nodded slightly. The status of a Dragon Emperor clan disciple was only below that of a direct bloodline descendant. Generally speaking, it was rare to have someone enter the clan and be given the title of a disciple. In the guest room area, Long Yun knocked on the door and entered while Yi Qingtang was cultivating. Senior. Yi Qingtang smiled when she saw Long Yun. Miss Yi, I'm here today to discuss something with you. Long Yun looked at Yi Qingtang. Yi Qingtang nodded and smiled. Senior, please let me know if you have any instructions for me. It's like this. Miss Yi, are you willing to join the Dragon Emperor clan? Long Yun went straight to the point. Join the Dragon Emperor clan? Yi Qingtang was taken aback. Why would they suddenly let her join the Dragon Emperor clan? Visit Rietal. Me for extra chapters. Miss Yi grew up in the Blue Sky domain. With the scarce martial arts culture and resources of that domain, it is rare for Miss Yi to be able to cultivate to the 5th heaven level Divine Lord. Therefore, I have already spoken with the higher-ups of our clan. We hope that Miss Yi can join our Dragon Emperor clan, Long Yun said with a smile. Yi Qingtang fell into deep thought. With the status of a disciple of the Dragon Emperor clan, she should be able to obtain the information that she needed. Seeing that Yi Qingtang remained silent, Long Yun continued softly. This is your first time in the Mixed Heavens Holy Domain, and you might be a little unfamiliar with the Dragon Emperor clan. If you are willing, I can allow you to join us as a disciple of the clan. Under normal circumstances, young prodigies in the Mixed Heavens Holy Domain must be at least at the sub-emperor level, or have a special bloodline to join. In addition, they cannot be beyond the age of 30. They must also pass the various strict tests of the Dragon Emperor clan before they get the chance to join as a disciple. Yi Qingtang was rather tempted by Long Yun's words. Under the Dragon Emperor clan's hierarchical system, disciples are only below that of the direct bloodline descendants and would have access to endless resources. What do you think, Miss Yi? If you're unwilling, the Dragon Emperor clan will not force you, Long Yun said. Yi Qingtang was naturally not fooled by Long Yun's words. What kind of place was this? She was only at the 5th heaven level Divine Lord. As an ancient evil faction in the 2nd domain, how could the Dragon Emperor clan take a liking to her? There was something else that Yi Qingtang believed. A youth who wanted to enter the Dragon Emperor clan as a disciple must at least be at the sub-emperor level, or possess an extremely rare bloodline. Yi Qingtang was well aware that the Dragon Emperor clan wanted her to join for reasons that had absolutely nothing to do with her martial arts talents. Even if she joined the Dragon Emperor clan as a disciple, those senior disciples were all terrifying and formidable beings. Yi Qingtang was not confident of surviving among those people. Chapter 2563. Entering the Ancient God Karma Tunnel. 1. After a long time, the corners of Yi Qingtang's lips curled up slightly. She looked at Long Yun and said with a smile, Senior, of course I'm willing. I am from the Blue Sky domain, which has a low-grade martial arts culture. I'm already very satisfied to be able to see the martial arts scene in the Mixed Heavens Holy Domain. If the Dragon Emperor clan is willing to have me, I am willing to do anything. Long Yun nodded and said, That's good. Don't worry, Yi Qingtang. The 5th heaven level Divine Lord will definitely not be your peak now that you are here at the Dragon Emperor clan. Senior, I am naturally aware of the Dragon Emperor clan's capabilities. However, I have a private matter to attend to. If possible, I will return to the Dragon Emperor clan after settling my private affairs. Is that okay? Yi Qingtang's expression was natural. Oh, you have something private to settle? Long Yun seemed to be deep in thought. Why don't you tell me what it is? If you have any requests, the Dragon Emperor clan will take care of it. Senior, This is my personal matter. Moreover, I have not joined the Dragon Emperor clan yet, so it's not convenient for me to trouble you. I will be able to settle my personal matters in about half a month. Yi Qingtang immediately rejected Long Yun's suggestion. The more Long Yun behaved in such a manner, the more Yi Qingtang would not want to join the Dragon Emperor clan. At the very least, she would not want to stay here before her cultivation level had risen enough, so that she could protect herself. Furthermore, the ancient god Karma Tunnel had already opened. Even though the big yellow dog said the karma power was too intense now, no major force had discovered the tunnel yet. Even if she had to take some risks, Yi Qingtang wanted to try it out first. Yi Qingtang had already made up her mind that no matter what, it was not convenient for her to stay in the Dragon Emperor clan now. If things did not work out for her, she would have no choice but to use the power of the deity ocean to escape. However, the elder unexpectedly nodded after pondering for a moment. Forget it, Miss Yi is right. You are not yet a disciple of the Dragon Emperor clan. Since Miss Yi has a private matter to see to, we'll discuss this matter after you settle it. Thank you, Senior. Surprise flashed across Yi Qingtang's eyes as she looked at Long Yun. She thought that the white-haired elder would definitely not let her leave. Who knew that he would actually agree? Visit Riedel. Me for extra chapters. Also, Long Yun reached into his pocket and took out a token. He handed it to Yi Qingtang. Yi Qingtang instinctively accepted the token and examined it. The token was made of pure gold, and it was cold to the touch. The word clan was carved on both sides of the token. Miss Yi, this is a token of Dragon Emperor clan disciples. If you encounter any trouble, you can present this token, Long Yun explained. Thank you, Senior. Yi Qingtang kept the token. Yi Qingtang thought that the white-haired elder was afraid that the Sky Vault sect would continue to find trouble with her, so he gave her this token that only the disciples of the Dragon Emperor clan could possess. Miss Yi, it's still daylight. If you're in a hurry, you can leave the mountain now, Long Yun said. After Long Yun left, Yi Qingtang finally heaved a sigh of relief. Regardless of whether the Dragon Emperor clan had ulterior motives for keeping her, they had treated her quite well so far. It was surprising that they had even given her a token. Little girl, have you thought it through? Are you going to enter the ancient god Karma Tunnel now? The big yellow dog looked at Yi Qingtang. Chapter 2564. Entering the ancient god Karma Tunnel. 2. Yi Qingtang nodded and said, "This is the best opportunity. Otherwise, the auspicious signs that you mentioned will probably attract the various factions in the Mixed Heavens Holy Domain. It will not be easy to infiltrate then. Besides, once she became a disciple of the Dragon Emperor clan, she would not be qualified to go with those big shots of the Dragon Emperor clan. Yes, all right. I'll think of a way to help you absorb the karma energy. See if you can obtain the recognition of the ancient gods, as only with their approval can you enter the ancient gods' karma tunnel. If the ancient gods don't acknowledge you, you won't be able to enter even if you wanted to," the big yellow dog said. Without further ado, Yi Qingtang asked the big yellow dog to inform the Blood Moon Elder. She tidied up and strode out of the guest room area. The middle-aged man had been waiting outside for a long time. "Hee, Miss Yi, are you not staying for a few more days?" The middle-aged man chuckled when he saw Yi Qingtang walk out of the room. "Senior, I have some private matters to attend to. After I'm done, I'll return to the Dragon Emperor clan to be a disciple," Yi Qingtang said. Miss Yi is truly not simple. Many talented youths wish to join the Dragon Emperor clan as a disciple. Unfortunately, most of them died undergoing the clan's stringent tests. It seems that Lord Long Yun is very fond of Miss Yi. Otherwise, Miss Yi would not have such an opportunity. The middle-aged man smiled. Indeed, the white-haired elder bore no ill intent towards her. Actually, there was no need for him to give her the disciple token before she left, but he had still given it to her. "Holy Lady, I'm here." The Blood Moon Elder walked over with the big yellow dog and several bags. Yi Qingtang's expression changed when she saw the bags in the Blood Moon Elder's hand. Did he empty all the rooms in the Dragon Emperor clan's guest area? The Blood Moon Elder did not expect someone from the Dragon Emperor clan to be here either. He looked rather embarrassed and said, I saw the delicious food and elixirs. It's a waste to leave them here. That's why I took them. I'm not greedy, but am afraid of wasting them. Should I put them back? Before Yi Qingtang could say anything, the middle-aged man waved his hand and said with a smile, Brother, you are guests invited by the Dragon Emperor clan. Take whatever you want from those rooms. It's not a big deal. Thank you then. Yi Qingtang looked at the middle-aged man. She had really been embarrassed by the Blood Moon Elder. Visit Rietal. Me for extra chapters. It's getting late. Follow me. I am responsible for escorting you out of the Black Mountain safely, the middle-aged man said. Demons often appeared in the mountains of the Dragon Emperor clan. They were extremely powerful. Even some of the more outstanding younger disciples of the Dragon Emperor clan had died tragically at the hands of those demons. Yi Qingtang and the Blood Moon Elder followed the middle-aged man and reached the foot of the Black Mountain safely in about an hour. All right, Miss Yi. We'll meet again if fate allows it. Be careful on the road, the middle-aged man said with a smile. Thank you for taking care of me these last 2 days. Farewell. Yi Qingtang cupped her fists respectfully at the middle-aged man and quickly left the mountain range with the Blood Moon Elder. My lord, Miss Yi has left. After Yi Qingtang disappeared, the middle-aged man knelt on one knee and bowed to empty air. Chapter 2565. 2565. In the next second, an illusory face appeared in the void. The figure said, Send someone to the Blue Sky domain to investigate her identity. Also, follow her and see if she has anything to do with the Temple of Paragon. If she does, you can bring her back to the Dragon Emperor clan by force. Yes. With that, the middle-aged man turned into a blur and instantly disappeared. No one knew where he went. The Dragon Emperor clan had always wanted to rule the entire Mixed Heavens holy domain. They launched their plan many years ago, but it had been foiled by the combined efforts of the other factions. Among them, the Temple of Paragon was a major threat. If Yi Qingtang was linked to the Temple of Paragon, the Dragon Emperor clan would never let go of this opportunity. Yi Qingtang and the Blood Moon Elder had already left the area of the Dragon Emperor clan. They passed by a deep forest and headed towards a secluded area. Holy Lady, where are we going now? The Blood Moon Elder hoisted his bags over his shoulders. He wanted to toss them into Yi Qingtang's space ring, but had been rejected by his Holy Lady. The ancient god Karma Tunnel, the big yellow dog said. What? The Blood Moon Elder's expression changed immediately. Before Yi Qingtang could respond, the Blood Moon Elder blocked her and said hurriedly, Holy Lady, have you gone mad? You must not go to that place. Oh, you know about the ancient god Karma Tunnel? Yi Qingtang looked at the Blood Moon Elder with a strange expression. How did he know about this? I don't know, but my main body heard from the Heavenly Emperor that in a distant era, this ancient god Karma Tunnel appeared once. In the end, a monster escaped from that tunnel. That monster even gobbled up the sun. The corners of Yi Qingtang's lips twitched. What the hell? It ate the sun? What was in the sky now then? A fireball? Holy Lady, there are definitely monsters that can eat the sun in there. You must not go and court death. The Blood Moon Elder was rather anxious. Visit Rietal. Me for extra chapters. Bullshit. The big yellow dog glared at the Blood Moon Elder. I wanted to eat it back then, but I didn't eat it. Yi Qingtang. Yi Qingtang and the Blood Moon Elder looked at the yellow dog at the same time. So the monster he was talking about was you? The big yellow dog said. Monster? What monster? Where did this monster come from? It was a divine canine descending onto the mortal world. Yi Qingtang fell into deep thought. It was only now that she was starting to understand how this big yellow dog came to the lower realm from the upper realm, and why it had such a deep hatred for the Karma bloodline clan from the upper realm. I finally understand. Yi Qingtang stared at the big yellow dog and snorted. What do you understand? The yellow dog was puzzled. You previously said that the ancient god Karma Tunnel can only be opened by a pure Karma bloodline descendant. You must have angered the Karma bloodline clan by forcing them to open the tunnel at their own peril to send you away. Yi Qingtang stared at the big yellow dog. Little girl, not bad. You are pretty smart to be able to guess correctly. Most humans are not that intelligent. The big yellow dog wagged its tail. Yi Qingtang was a little speechless. Was there even a need to guess? It was so obvious. No wonder the yellow dog was so familiar with the ancient god Karma tunnel. It even knew about the karma energy surrounding it. Chapter 2566. Entering the ancient god Karma tunnel. 4. It turned out that the big yellow dog was the sun-eating monster that the Blood Moon Elder was talking about. Yi Qingtang suspected that those with the Karma bloodline could largely control the direction of the Karma tunnel. It could be a doomed hell or a blessed paradise. Otherwise, the big yellow dog would not have come to the lower realm. When I finally return home, I will definitely kill everyone with the Karma bloodline. I was too greedy back then, and they joined forces to trick me. I didn't even plan to enter. I was originally looking for food in a blessed land, but the ancient god Karma tunnel opened and sucked that blessed land in. Naturally, I followed it inside. I've never been to the lower realm, and thought that the sun was edible energy from the blessed land. The big yellow dog snorted coldly as if it was feeling very indignant. Yi Qingtang shook her head. In the end, the dog didn't manage to eat the sun but fell into a deep coma. However, Yi Qingtang did not expect that the Wailing Well was actually a product of the upper realm. Then, is the demon god who was resurrected in the Wailing Well also from the upper realm? Yi Qingtang asked with a frown. How is that possible? That is all in the future. After it landed in the lower realm, it's impossible that no one has ever entered the Wailing Well since. It has nothing to do with the upper realm. The big yellow dog wagged its tail. Yi Qingtang didn't refute the big yellow dog. If it was really from the upper realm, the big yellow dog would definitely be able to tell at a glance. Holy lady, brother canine, what are you talking about? Upper and lower realms? The Blood Moon Elder was a little dazed. Why are you asking so many questions? Can you understand if I explain to you? The big yellow dog glanced at the Blood Moon Elder. Brother canine, what are you saying? How would I understand if you don't explain? As long as you explain to me, I would definitely know what you mean. I'm not a fool, the Blood Moon Elder said. The big yellow dog looked at the Blood Moon Elder. You need to remove the word not from your last sentence. I'm not a fool. If I remove the word not, I'm a fool, the Blood Moon Elder said instinctively. Yep, that's right. The big yellow dog wagged its tail. The Blood Moon Sect Elder. Cut the crap, it's already dark now. This place is close to the Black Mountain, and the demonic aura is still thick here. I'm afraid there will be demonic beasts appearing late at night. We should try to arrive at the ancient god Karma tunnel as soon as possible, Yi Qingtang said. Unable to convince Yi Qingtang otherwise, the Blood Moon Elder finally gave in and followed her. The next morning, the sky gradually lightened. A night had passed. In front of them was an endless river. A faint red beam about 100 meters long streaked across the sky. Ancient god Karma tunnel. The big yellow dog looked at the 100-meter red beam. Yi Qingtang's spirits were lifted when she heard that. They had finally arrived. Just as she had predicted earlier, there were no auspicious signs from the heavens about the ancient god Karma tunnel yet. Therefore, no one had discovered it. Coupled with the fact that it was located in an extremely remote area, there was not a single person here. Around the red beam were many giant skeletons. Judging from their appearance, they seemed to be the remains of extremely powerful demon beasts. It appeared that the demon beasts here had discovered the red beam and approached it out of curiosity. However, they had been killed by the dense karma energy. Holy lady, oh, go forward and see if there's any danger. Wait for me here. If there's no danger, come over. If there's danger, run. With that, the Blood Moon Elder pretended to step forward, but Yi Qingtang pulled him back. Chapter 2567. Entering the Ancient God Karma Tunnel 6. Translator. Atlas Studios editor. Atlas Studios. Before the Blood Moon Elder could take another step, he was pulled back by Yi Qingtang. She looked at the Blood Moon Elder. No need to go over. From what the big yellow dog said, Yi Qingtang already knew that there was still a lot of thick karma energy around the ancient god karma tunnel now. If she were to be tainted by a trace of it, she would die or lose at least a layer of skin. Yi Qingtang's gaze landed on the big yellow dog. Why are you looking at me? Little girl, you are rather ruthless. You stopped this ugly monster from going forward, but want me to probe the path ahead. What deep grudge do you have against me? The big yellow dog wagged its tail at Yi Qingtang. The corners of Yi Qingtang's lips twitched. Didn't this dog promise to help her settle the karma energy around the ancient god karma tunnel? Sigh, forget it. Oh, go then. While you are leaving for the tunnel, I saw that you still have a lot of food on you. Take them out and leave them behind for us. The big yellow dog stared at Yi Qingtang. Brother Canine, why are you eating that? Have you forgotten? I brought along many of the rare delicacies and elixirs from the Dragon Emperor clan. The Blood Moon Elder smiled. The big yellow dog stared at the Blood Moon Elder and said, I take back what I said before. You're not stupid at all. Cut the crap. Yi Qingtang could not stand this pair of clowns. Had their mothers dropped them on their heads at birth? The big yellow dog did not say anything else and ran forward quickly. But when the big yellow dog ran to the middle, countless red lights shot towards it like arrows. However, those extremely powerful karma energies did not affect the dog at all. Not a single strand of fur fell from the big yellow dog's body. When it reached the center, surprise flashed across the eyes of the big yellow dog. What's wrong? Yi Qingtang frowned slightly. She was afraid that something would happen to the big yellow dog, and hurriedly asked. I'm fine. I just think that this karma energy is quite powerful, said the yellow dog. Soon, the big yellow dog returned and stared at Yi Qingtang. All right, the next wave of karma energy will take at least an hour to accumulate. You have to make the best use of this time to see if you are qualified to enter the ancient god karma tunnel. If you are, you can enter. If not, you have to come back quickly. Yi Qingtang nodded. After confirming that there was no residual karma energy, she quickly walked towards the red beam. However, Yi Qingtang had just taken a few steps when the Blood Moon Elder called out to her. If you have problems with this website, please continue reading your novel on our new website. My thanks. Holy lady, when are you coming back? How long do we have to wait? The Blood Moon Elder asked. Chapter 2568. Don't be afraid. 1. The big yellow dog looked at the Blood Moon Elder and wagged its tail. It then gazed at Yi Qingtang's back profile. This little girl is very tough. Don't worry, she might not die even if you died a few more times. The Blood Moon Elder was speechless. Could he not die? Was it so difficult for him to just continue living? The big yellow dog said softly. This might be the most important turning point in her life. If she can persevere and overcome this, perhaps in the future. The Blood Moon Elder was curious. Perhaps what? The big yellow dog glanced at the Blood Moon Elder. Get lost. Yi Qingtang had already arrived at the red beam. In the next second, Yi Qingtang's body flew into the air and towards the center of the red beam. This was exactly as the big yellow dog had described. If she didn't have the right to enter the ancient god karma tunnel, she would have been ejected immediately. If she was worthy, she would enter the tunnel in one piece. Just as Yi Qingtang flew into the red beam, an extremely strong resistance surged out, as if it wanted to push Yi Qingtang away. This is bad. Sensing this resistance, Yi Qingtang frowned slightly as an ominous feeling arose in her heart. It was obvious that this tunnel rejected her and didn't want her to get close to it. However, a red light shot out of her shattered voice transmission stone, which fused with the red beam. Before Yi Qingtang could make sense of it, the resistance inexplicably disappeared. The huge resistance turned into a suction force, and in the blink of an eye, Yi Qingtang was sucked into the center of the red beam, disappearing from the world. The Holy Lady is gone, the Blood Moon Elder said anxiously. The big yellow dog wagged its tail and looked at the flash of red light that had fused with the red beam. Interesting. An unknown period of time passed. It felt like millions of years, but also like just the blink of an eye. Yi Qingtang regained consciousness and slowly opened her eyes. This is... Yi Qingtang saw herself floating in a huge tunnel. Around the tunnel was chaotic space-time storm. The destructive power contained in these storms could not be described in words. Even if an ancient true god was to personally come here, he would probably be shattered into pieces if engulfed by these space-time storms. Even the purest power of nature could not compare to these terrifying storms. Is this the ancient god Karma tunnel? It's so dangerous here. Yi Qingtang curled up her body and did not dare to move. It was just a tunnel, but it was already so dangerous and terrifying. If one was unlucky and entered the doomed hells that the big yellow dog had described, the consequences would be unimaginable. But now, even the tunnel itself was overwhelming for her. There were no rules in the formation of a space-time storm. Chaotic turbulence filled the tunnel. Yi Qingtang could not control her body and was unable to move of free will. In just a few breaths' time, the space-time storms ahead deviated from the center and gradually merged with her position. This is bad. Yi Qingtang's expression changed when she saw what was happening in such a situation. Even an immortal emperor would find it difficult to escape. And she was just a mere fifth heaven-level divine lord. Without thinking much, Yi Qingtang immediately communicated with the power of the deity ocean in her body. If she did not escape quickly, she would be completely engulfed by the space-time storm within 10 seconds. Chapter 2569. Don't be afraid, too. However, Yi Qingtang made a prompt decision. Without any hesitation, she communicated with the power of her deity ocean. Even if there was only a 50% chance of her entering the deity ocean space, she had to try and not just wait for death here. The ancient god Karma tunnel was a rare opportunity, but Yi Qingtang had not even reached the end of the tunnel, and would never know if she would enter a blessed paradise or a doomed hell. She felt a little disappointed, but no matter what, her life was the most important. If she lost her life, everything would be meaningless. However, Yi Qingtang's expression changed drastically. She could not communicate with the deity ocean. To be exact, the ancient god Karma tunnel that Yi Qingtang was in isolated all sources of power, including herself. At that instant, Yi Qingtang's face was ashen. She never expected that she would die before achieving her goal. She would definitely die by the time she reached the end of the ancient god Karma tunnel. Perhaps she had always been unlucky, but what was this? Dying in this tunnel? Not even getting the chance to see the doomed hell or blessed paradise. Despair and a trace of anger surfaced in Yi Qingtang's heart. Was she so unlucky? Now Yi Qingtang could only watch as the space-time storm approached her. She could feel herself gradually enveloped by the storm. Every inch of Yi Qingtang's skin seemed to be torn apart. This was the first time Yi Qingtang felt such pain. Her consciousness gradually blurred. Yi Qingtang raised her arm with difficulty. She wanted to see how powerful the destructive force of this space-time storm was. Anyway, since she was about to die, she no longer had any fear. Don't be afraid. Suddenly, a gentle voice appeared out of nowhere. In the next second, Yi Qingtang's originally shattered body suddenly started to recover for some reason, and she regained consciousness instantly. A faint figure appeared beside Yi Qingtang. However, even though it was just a phantom, one could still roughly see its appearance. Long, ink-black hair fell casually to the waist. A gentle smile on a face that was visit reatal. Me for extra chapters. Terrifyingly pale. The gentle man in front of her. He was Ling Yan. Ling Yan. Yi Qingtang frowned slightly. She reached out and grabbed at the shadow, but her fingers instantly penetrated the shadow's body. How Yi Qingtang was slightly surprised. Why was it so bone-chilling? Don't be afraid. The shadow repeated its first sentence. Ling Yan. What's wrong? Yi Qingtang was a little lost, as if she had not fully recovered. Don't be afraid. A complicated light flashed across the shadowy figure's eyes as it looked at Yi Qingtang in the next second. The shadow reached out and grabbed Yi Qingtang's right hand. However, the shadow's hand also passed through her. The shadow looked at Yi Qingtang. The shadowy figure seemed to be weightless as it flew through the tunnel. Seeing the girl slowly close her eyes from exhaustion, the shadow was like a guardian angel as it surrounded Yi Qingtang and blocked waves erupting from the space-time storm. Before long, a piercing light appeared at the end of the tunnel. It was only then that the shadow finally stopped and looked at Yi Qingtang quietly. A warm smile remained on its face. "Don't be afraid." Chapter 2570, Land of Despair, 1 Translator. Atlas Studios Editor. Atlas Studios cold. It was bone-chillingly cold. Yi Qingtang seemed to have fallen into an icy abyss. It was so cold that she started to feel suffocated. She would gladly welcome the slightest hint of warmth now. Anything to stave off that biting, aggressive cold. After some time, Yi Qingtang finally opened her eyes. Yi Qingtang got up slowly and looked around. Fortunately, she had already emerged from the ancient god Karma tunnel. However, everything seemed like a dream when she was in the ancient god Karma tunnel. It was so unreal that Yi Qingtang thought that she must have been dreaming she saw Ling Yan and the space-time storm. Even at that moment, Yi Qingtang could not accurately determine whether it had really happened, or if it was just an abnormal dream. Soon, this bone-piercing coldness brought Yi Qingtang back to reality. She was too cold. Even though Yi Qingtang was a 5th heaven-level divine lord, she could not endure this chill. It was impossible to imagine just how cold it would be. A chill that not even a divine lord could endure. Beneath her feet was ice. Even the sky seemed to be covered in ice. As far as the eye could see, this entire world had long been covered in ice. The cold wind was like a sharp blade that could easily slice through the skin of an emperor-level practitioner. Before long, several ice burns had already appeared on Yi Qingtang's body. What the hell is this place? Yi Qingtang could not help frowning. However, in just a few breaths, Yi Qingtang's expression changed drastically. She suddenly remembered that there was either a doomed hell or a blessed paradise at the end of the ancient god Karma tunnel. Where Yi Qingtang was now, she did not think it was a paradise. Would a blessed paradise be like this? Even the cold wind could be fatal. Yi Qingtang was almost certain that she had entered the doomed hell. The cursed place that the big yellow dog spoke of, where even the gods would tremble. Once you entered the doomed hell, no matter who you were, whether you were human or demon, or even a high and mighty god, you would have to crawl on the ground and wait for their death. But Yi Qingtang still held a trace of hope. Perhaps this place was a blessed land. With that in mind, Yi Qingtang lifted her heavy footsteps and walked forward. Yi Qingtang was searching for an opportunity to live. The ground beneath her feet was frozen for millions of miles. It was extremely smooth like a mirror. In fact, when Yi Qingtang lowered her head, she could see her reflection. After walking for an unknown period of time, Yi Qingtang's body finally started to warm up. There was no way to stop in a place like this. The moment she stopped to rest, it did not take long before the bone-piercing coldness became unbearable for her, as if even her blood was about to freeze into ice. In the end, Yi Qingtang could only bow down her head to the truth. She did not enter the blessed paradise. She had completely failed. After entering the ancient god Karma tunnel, it had sent her to this cursed place. This was the land of death that the big yellow dog had mentioned, the doomed abyss. Even gods could only wait for death to descend upon them when they entered this cursed land. How could she survive? Yi Qingtang stopped and tried to communicate with the deity ocean in her body. Even if it was a doomed hell, it would not be a problem for her to enter the deity ocean space. Even if she could not return to the outside world, at most she would remain in the deity ocean space. No matter what, it was better than staying in this suffocating and despairing place. However, Yi Qingtang sunk into despair once again. The deity ocean failed to work. Chapter 2571, Land of Despair 2. Indeed, Yi Qingtang was unable to connect with the deity ocean in her body at all. It was as if all connections were severed because of this cursed land. In this place where even gods and devils felt despair, Yi Qingtang felt like she was suffocating just by looking around. If she could, she did not want to stay for even a moment longer. However, she could no longer leave. Even after death, her soul would be suppressed here, never to be reborn. Endless snowflakes fell from the boundless glaciers. This world was filled with bone-piercing coldness and despair. Yi Qingtang raised her hand and soon, a red flame appeared in her palm. Finally, Yi Qingtang felt a warmth that she had not felt in a long time. After her body became warmer, Yi Qingtang did not dare to continue staying still. She was afraid that the blood in her body would freeze, so she had no choice but to continue walking forward. In this place of despair, every step consumed a lot of stamina. Furthermore, there was not the slightest bit of spirit energy in this world to replenish it. Just like her red flame, it could not be replenished by spirit energy once it ran out. Opening her space ring, Yi Qingtang took out some beef jerky. She swallowed it in large mouthfuls just to recover her energy quickly. In this cursed hell, it was certain death once one's stamina was depleted. If Yi Qingtang stopped to rest, her blood would be frozen into ice in a few hours. If it came down to that, she would be unable to escape death then. Yi Qingtang started to have regrets. Her luck had never been good all along. She thought that this would be a huge opportunity, but who expected it to turn out to be a huge calamity? If Yi Qingtang knew that she would not be able to connect with her deity ocean in this place, perhaps she would not have taken the risk. Before entering the ancient god Karma tunnel, Yi Qingtang believed that the worst outcome would be for her to enter the deity ocean space. However, after arriving at this doomed hell, the power of the deity ocean had been sealed off, and she had no way to escape. She walked along in this land of despair for a long undetermined period of time. Perhaps it had been a few days, but there was no day or night in this world. It was difficult to tell. By now, Yi Qingtang's stamina was completely exhausted. With a thud, Yi Qingtang fell onto the ice. She no longer had the strength to walk anymore. Soon, that terrifying chilliness engulfed Yi Qingtang again. Boom! Loud booms rang out one after another. Yi Qingtang looked ahead. An indomitable great fiend celestial's huge body was running some distance ahead. His face was filled with despair, and he was roaring in a hoarse voice. But such scenes no longer surprised her. These high and mighty existences had long since died off. Only their souls were still imprisoned here, making it difficult for them to extricate themselves. They experienced the pain and torture leading to their deaths repeatedly every day, never stopping for eternity. If I die, perhaps it will be the same, Yi Qingtang murmured softly. At that moment, Yi Qingtang no longer felt tired. Her body gradually lost all feeling, as though she was completely isolated from the world. Only that bone-chilling coldness continued to wear away her remaining will. Yi Qingtang closed her eyes slowly. At that moment, she only wanted to have a good sleep. Even if she had to pay a tragic price, she would never open her eyes again. After a few breaths, Yi Qingtang's body slowly turned to ice. Don't be afraid. It was that familiar voice again. It seemed to be far away, but also very close. The shadowy figure appeared and came to Yi Qingtang's side. Its body erupted with a sun-like luster and heat, which enveloped Yi Qingtang. The figure lay beside Yi Qingtang and enveloped her body, before infusing a remaining sliver of karma energy into Yi Qingtang's body. Chapter 2572. The Strongest in the Universe, Tian 1. This sliver of karma energy gradually warmed Yi Qingtang's body. It was as if there was a hot little sun surrounding her. It was warm and comfortable. However, Yi Qingtang still did not want to open her eyes. She was too tired, and it seemed that she had not felt so relaxed in many years. It would be really good if she could sleep like this forever. Miss Yi, how long do you want to sleep for? In her daze, Yi Qingtang saw a gentle-looking man sitting beside her with a faint smile. Is this Miss Yi's subconscious world? It's very beautiful. The man looked around. There was a gorge with beautiful mountains and clear waters. Listening carefully, he could hear the sound of flowing water from a stream. Occasionally, there were the sounds of birds chirping. The light breeze was very relaxing. Ling Yan, why are you here? Yi Qingtang leaned against a huge old pine tree, and looked at the man sitting beside her in surprise. Ling Yan smiled when he heard Yi Qingtang. His lively eyes landed on Yi Qingtang and he said with a smile, "If I didn't come, Miss Yi would have to spend her entire life here. How boring would it be to remain alone for the rest of your life? I think this place is quite good." Yi Qingtang smiled and said, "Since you're here, don't leave. We can accompany each other." Ling Yan's eyes flickered. "Actually, I've already been gone for a long time. Perhaps this is the only time I can stay by your side," Ling Yan said softly. "Gone for a long time? What do you mean?" Yi Qingtang did not understand why Ling Yan was speaking so cryptically. "Nothing. It's time to wake up. There's something more important waiting for you in the future. You can't fall here," Ling Yan smiled. "You're not the only one bearing everything now. You still have me. I will always be by your side now and in the future. You and I will bear it together." Yi Qingtang. Ling Yan looked at Yi Qingtang and his lips curled into a very comfortable smile. "Give me a hug." Yi Qingtang was slightly taken aback. "Ah." Before Yi Qingtang could read him to her senses, Ling Yan stepped forward and hugged her gently. Without giving Yi Qingtang any time to react, Ling Yan suddenly pressed his face against Yi Qingtang's and whispered into her ear, "You can do it." His tone was rather conflicted. "Don't be afraid, I'm always here." The cold gradually dissipated, but one could still hear the wind whistling through the air like a sharp blade. After a long while, Yi Qingtang slowly opened her eyes. Ling Yan visit Rietal. Me for extra chapters. Yi Qingtang mumbled after waking up. She had a dream just now. She saw Ling Yan in a paradise. Just like in the past, he was flawless. However, she could no longer remember the details of the dream. It was very blurry. However, Yi Qingtang knew that the dream made her feel very at ease. She did not know how long it had been since she felt so comfortable. Even the coldness in her heart was swept away. After a while, Yi Qingtang slowly stood up. This place was still a land of despair, impossible to leave. It was bone-chilling and endless. No one knew when they would reach the end. Yi Qingtang looked ahead. She could see those once great fiend celestials whose souls were eternally tormented here. If those fiend celestials were given another chance, Yi Qingtang believed that they would definitely not have chosen to enter the ancient god karma tunnel. If you find any errors, broken links, non-standard content, etc., please let us know so we can fix it as soon as possible. Tip: you can use left, right, A and D keyboard keys to browse between chapters. Chapter 2573. The Strongest in the Universe, Tion 2 Translator, Atlas Studios Editor. Atlas Studios, those indomitable fiend celestials. Every single one of them had been a glorious legendary figure in their era. Even if they had their glory days, they still ended up suffering here, not even having the chance to reincarnate. Day after day, year after year, there was no hope, and no light on the horizon. Yi Qingtang looked away, reluctant to continue looking at those fiend celestials. She had already come here, and her ending would be the same as theirs. In that instant, Yi Qingtang shook her head. She probably didn't even deserve to cry. Who was she? Was she even qualified to suffer the same treatment as those fiend celestials? Even the doomed hell might spurn her. Yi Qingtang smiled at that thought. She was no longer afraid of this matter, and only had some lingering regrets that could not be erased. "What are you smiling at?" A voice suddenly sounded from nearby. This voice was very cold, so cold that it pierced the bone. It was even colder than the cold wind in this place. At that, Yi Qingtang could smile no more. Who is it? Yi Qingtang scanned her surroundings. These few days, all Yi Qingtang saw were those fiend celestials repeatedly experienced their own calamity. Who else was here who could communicate with her? Who am I? The cold voice paused for a moment. The owner of the voice seemed to be pondering who he was. Yes, who am I? The voice sounded out again after a long time. Yi Qingtang was speechless. How would she know who it was? Wasn't she the one who asked the question? Why was she being questioned now? Where are you? Why don't you show yourself? I'm not dead yet. After I die, my soul will be suppressed here forever. By then, We can still chat to kill time. Yi Qingtang smiled. No matter who it was no longer important to Yi Qingtang. Even if it were once a legendary fiend celestial, they were all the same now. There was no distinction between high and low now. They were just dust that had suffered so much that they could not be reborn. The moment Yi Qingtang finished her words, a human figure gradually formed. Yi Qingtang was slightly dazed when she saw the man in front of her. The man stood beside Yi Qingtang. He was wearing a tattered black robe, which seemed to be imprinted with a mysterious pattern. There were 2 dragon-shaped patterns on the man's shoulders. They were vivid and lifelike, as if a real divine dragon had appeared. His long, snow-white hair fell loosely to his waist. His eyes were cold, and he was extremely handsome. It was a pity that he looked unbearably cold, even colder than the cold wind. The man did not move. Although he appeared extremely realistic, Yi Qingtang could not see everything clearly. It was as though she was looking at a flower through a fog, or the reflection of the moon in a mirror. "What's your name?" the man asked. "Yi Qingtang, what about you?" Yi Qingtang asked. What's my name?" The man mumbled the same words. Yi Qingtang was exasperated. "Was the one who asked you first, but you are asking me now. How would I know your name?" Yi Qingtang was rather frustrated. "Once upon a time, someone called me Tian," the man said after a moment of thought. "What? Tian?" Yi Qingtang was taken aback. "Sit." The man sat on the ground. "No, it's too cold." Yi Qingtang shook her head and remained where she was. "Suit yourself," the man said. "By the way, brother Tian, how long have you been here?" Yi Qingtang asked curiously. Chapter 2574. The Strongest in the Universe, Tian 3. The man's gaze landed on Yi Qingtang impassively. "I don't know." "Don't know." Yi Qingtang was speechless. But that sounded about right. He did not even remember his own name. How could he know how long he had been here? "Brother Tian, I'm new here. Are there any rules?" Yi Qingtang walked to the man's side and asked humbly. This man looked rather old and experienced. He was so old that he had even forgotten his own name. Anyway, since she was going to be imprisoned here forever, it was the right thing to ask more questions. "Suffering," the man said. Yi Qingtang was speechless. He really did not give her any hope at all. All right. In the end, Yi Qingtang could only nod and accept reality. However, Yi Qingtang was still curious. Those fiend celestials were suffering endlessly. How could this man chat with her so leisurely? "Brother Tian, will I be like them after I die?" Yi Qingtang pointed at the distant fiend celestials. The man nodded. Even worse. Yi Qingtang was once again struck dumb. Was this man here to torture her? She was about to die anyway, and he could have just told her a white lie so that she wouldn't die in despair. "You have karma power in you. Are you a descendant of the karma bloodline?" the man asked after a long moment passed. "I am not." Yi Qingtang shook her head. She did not know why she had karma power. Whatever. The man did not seem to care. "Brother Tian, do you suffer here every day?" Yi Qingtang continued to ask. "What is suffering?" the man asked her back. Yi Qingtang felt that she was about to go crazy. Why was this man so crazy? Had he been here for too long such that his soul had already collapsed? "This place is filled with wandering spirits who endure endless suffering," the man said. Yi Qingtang nodded. "I know. I'm hungry. Let's eat something first." Suddenly, the man stood up without warning. His gaze landed on a fiend celestial in the distance. Immediately after, the man's lips parted slightly. In the next second, right before Yi Qingtang's shocked eyes, the man swallowed that fiend celestial. Yi Qingtang was stunned. Was she dreaming? What had just happened? How could something so surreal happen? This man ate a fiend celestial. I can taste resentment, grievance, and despair. The man seemed to have eaten his fill and sat cross-legged on the ground again. If you have problems with this website, please continue reading your novel on our new website. My thanks. Yi Qingtang was speechless. Would she be eaten by this man? However, from a certain perspective, It shouldn't be a bad thing for those trapped and suffering souls to be eaten by this man, right? Brother Tian, do you want to eat me too? After I die, why don't you eat my soul too? Yi Qingtang suggested. In this way, she might be able to reincarnate and be reborn. Being eaten was better than suffering here forever. This is the first time I've heard such a request. The man stared at Yi Qingtang and shook his head. You want die? There's karma fire in your body. You can live in suffering. Live in suffering? Yi Qingtang was stunned. She might as well die. It's better to live in suffering than to die, the man said. Yi Qingtang was struck dumb. Could she live without suffering? But since you can't die, what are you doing here? The man fell into deep thought. Chapter 2575. The Strongest in the Universe, Tian 4. Yi Qingtang's lips twitched when she heard the man's words. Was this man doing this on purpose? Did he think she wanted to be here? Before Yi Qingtang could respond, the man asked, Do you have anything to eat? Food. Almost instinctively, Yi Qingtang took out the remaining beef rations from her space ring. Thank you. The man's eyes flickered. In the blink of an eye, the beef jerky in Yi Qingtang's hand disappeared and reappeared in the man's hand. Yi Qingtang was dumbstruck. What kind of sorcery was that? However, Yi Qingtang did not mind and asked, Brother Tian, you said that I have karma fire in my body and that I can't die. What do you mean? I don't know. The man seemed to be uninterested in answering Yi Qingtang's question. He just continued to eat his beef jerky. In the blink of an eye, the man finished all the food. Do you have any more? The man looked at Yi Qingtang. Yi Qingtang shook her head. No, you finished it all. Do you have wine? The man asked again. In this land of despair, Yi Qingtang did not mind even if the other party was a lunatic as long as there was someone to chat with. Sure. The man nodded. Are you sure? If you are, you can leave immediately. Yes, send me out. Yi Qingtang smiled. Okay. Bring more strong wine the next time. The stronger the better, the man said. Yi Qingtang was about to say something when everything before her disappeared in a flash. There was no bone-piercing cold wind, no man who called himself Tian, no fiend celestials who were suffering for eternity. This, Yi Qingtang looked around and her pupils constricted. Ancient God Karma Tunnel? Yi Qingtang gasped. She had returned to the ancient God Karma Tunnel. Am I dreaming? Yi Qingtang pinched her face. The sensation was very real. She was not dreaming. Chapter 2576. New World 1. At that moment, Yi Qingtang finally realized that the man called Tian in that land of despair was not crazy, nor was he bragging. But of course, Yi Qingtang did not take that man's word seriously at that time. The man said that he could fulfill her wish and send her away. Yi Qingtang did not believe him. If he really had that ability, why did he not leave? Even at this moment, Yi Qingtang could not understand. She had indeed been sent away from that cursed place. Facts spoke louder than words. But why did that man stay there? Tian, Yi Qingtang muttered in shock. In that case, was it true that Tian could have made her a god? At that moment, Yi Qingtang was feeling a little scared. Fortunately, she did not agree back then. If she really agreed to become a god and her wish was used up, she would still be unable to leave. Even if she became a god, she would still be trapped forever in that cursed land. Yi Qingtang was indeed very curious about Tian. That man's supernatural power was indescribably powerful. Of course, he might have been the caretaker of that doomed hell. Yi Qingtang did not know, and could only rely on her own conjecture. Without giving Yi Qingtang any time to react, her soul seemed to have separated from her body. A sense of weightlessness assaulted her, and she lost consciousness. After some time, Yi Qingtang heard the sound of water flowing nearby. A moment later, Yi Qingtang slowly opened her eyes. Almost immediately, Yi Qingtang scanned her surroundings before allowing herself to heave a sigh of relief as joy surfaced in her eyes. In the sky, The light of the scorching sun was so warm that there was no longer the bone-piercing coldness of the cursed hell. As she got up, Yi Qingtang dusted herself off and sized up this strange place curiously. But before long, Yi Qingtang was frowning slightly with a strange expression. This place did not seem like the blessed paradise described by the big yellow dog. Yi Qingtang heard the yellow dog mention that there were all kinds of legacy bloodlines in the blessed land. As long as one passed the test, one could obtain the legacy, and the place she was currently in seemed to be a complete world. What exactly happened? What went wrong? Yi Qingtang pondered. Chapter 2577, New World 2. This was the first time Yi Qingtang was experiencing the ancient god Karma Tunnel. Everything she knew she had heard from the big yellow dog. She did not know anything much. The concentration of spirit energy in this place was not as high as her own deity ocean space, but it was still much thicker than in the second domain. Help! Just as Yi Qingtang was deep in thought, she heard a cry for help. Almost instinctively, Yi Qingtang sized up the stream in front of her. A head popped out of the water, and two arms were flailing around. Seeing that, Yi Qingtang flew forward and hauled the figure up from the water. After bringing him ashore, Yi Qingtang realized that the person who was drowning was a teenager of about 12 to 13 years of age. He was fair and clean. Though at this moment, the youth's face was pale as he panted heavily as if he had gotten a great shock. "Are you all right?" Yi Qingtang asked the youth. "No. I was scared to death." The young man touched the water droplets on his face. Yi Qingtang stared at the youth with a strange expression. This youth was not an ordinary person. Although he was young, his martial skills were at least at the Divine Lord stage. Yi Qingtang looked at the stream and frowned. "Is there a demon underwater?" "Demon?" The youth was taken aback before shaking his head. No. Yi Qingtang looked at the youth in confusion. "If not, why were you drowning?" "I was thirsty and wanted to fill my bottle with water, but I accidentally fell in. I don't know how to swim," the young man said. Yi Qingtang could not accept the youth's explanation. As a dignified divine lord, even if he really lost his footing and fell into the water, what was there to fear? Even an ordinary martial artist would not shout for help. "Are you unable to fly, or don't know how to hold your breath?" Yi Qingtang asked. Even if he didn't know how to swim, with his abilities at the Divine Lord stage, it would be very easy for him to hold his breath in the water for a day or two. "No." The young man was taken aback. He replied instinctively. "Then why did you shout for help just now?" Yi Qingtang shook her head. "Well, I was nervous." Only then did the young man realize that he did not need to be afraid of water. "Elder sister, no matter what, thank you very much for this." The young man cupped his fists respectfully at Yi Qingtang. "No problem," Yi Qingtang said calmly. "Elder sister, what's your name? I'll remember your name and repay you in the future," the young man said with a smile. "If you have problems with this website, please continue reading your novel on our new website. My thanks." Yi Qingtang replied honestly. Without giving the youth a chance to speak, Yi Qingtang asked, "By the way, this is my first time here and am not familiar with this place. May I ask where this is?" "Here." The young man looked around. "We are in the mid part of Mtizhong. This is a place for medicinal herbs. There are many precious herbs on the mountain, but people at our level don't dare to go too high up the mountain. There are more demon beasts on the mountain." "People at our level." Yi Qingtang stared at the youth. Even a Divine Lord stage practitioner did not dare to go up the mountain to pick herbs? "I just snuck up the mountain and wanted to see if there were any herbs nearby. However, I saw an emperor-level practitioner. He was killed by an immortal emperor, so I ran away." The youth sighed. Yi Qingtang. "Emperor? Immortal emperor? There are immortal emperors here?" Yi Qingtang asked softly. The youth nodded vehemently. "Yes, she's a beautiful lady, but she's very cruel. She also looks like you." At that point, the young man stared at Yi Qingtang and his expression changed drastically. You are the immortal emperor who killed the emperor-level practitioner." You're tuning in to the Limei's Wuxia Whispers YouTube channel. We're so grateful for your support, and don't forget to subscribe to join us on this incredible journey through captivating stories. Your generosity through donations truly makes a world of difference, as it's the primary source of revenue that allows me to expand and enhance this channel for you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being a part of this adventure.